As the healing properties went to work, Stephanie realized something one day.
I was like, wow, I don't feel any pain. I have no problem going up and down stairs. I have no problem going down mountains. Snowboarding felt good again.
If you see Stephanie, give her a thumbs up. That is, if you can catch her.
And now I can totally keep up with my friends in their 30s, and I'm 55.
Don't even think about giving up. There's lots of life left to live. Call now for a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 501-214-5880. That's 501-214-5880. 501-214-5880.
Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz.
You know, Sori and Dix, Shaw has been really good, and Andrew Harris has been really good. Trent Welling has been a really good get for us out of the portal. A guy that has a lot of experience, a guy that's going to be able to play special teams for us, a guy that's going to be able to help us on defense. And then you got Wyatt Simmons that's continued to blossom. See, the thing about Wyatt, he got redshirted last year. Then we started spring ball. He had the hamstring. So now you're getting to see him get more reps. He's a guy, man, he goes like he goes hard and plays the right way. So we have some good guys there, good nucleus of guys, and then you got Tavion Wallace, who's a true freshman, you know, that's out there and he's playing with the older guys and doing some different things there. So we have some good pieces in the linebacker room.
There you go. That's T. Will. Travis Williams talking a little bit about that linebacker group. Glad you're with us. Wes Moore, Joe Franklin. It is Out of Bounds on this Tuesday. I look up on the TV, Joe. Y'all know I'm a big Cowboys fan, but come on. Bigger risk. This is ESPN. They're talking about it. Bigger risk, paying Parsons or trading him. This is why Jerry Jones is sitting here smiling, because you're talking about the Cowboys every single day, over and over and over again, trying to find a new angle we can talk about today. But you know what? You're talking about the Cowboys, and he's happy. Jerry's happy.
So what is the bigger risk? The bigger risk may be paying him, because once players get paid and they're kind of locked into so much guaranteed money, I think that's what Jerry's thinking about, the fact that injury is always out there. You can't think like that, though, from the position that he's in. Now, he's thinking about his money, and he's thinking about the assets that are tied to his money. But that's why players want that guaranteed money. They want that assurance that they're going to be taken care of no matter what happens, because they performed in a certain way, they expect to perform in a certain way moving forward, and they want to be compensated for it.
Jerry's been paying football players for a long time. He knows the risk associated with playing football. Jerry's not worried about the injury.
But
here's the answer.
He keeps bringing it up, though. That's the whole deal. Whenever he's talking about it, he keeps bringing it up, because he even mentioned Dak when talking about Micah Parsons. Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, we paid Dak, and Dak missed some time. Micah Parsons missed some time last year, and now his back's hurting. So he keeps mentioning
he said that with a smile,
right?
Because the back was hurting. No, the risk is trading him, and all you have to do is look at the Luka Doncic trade. I mean, that's all you have to do. That's the biggest risk. You trade him. You trade now with the Mavericks, Luka was the face of the franchise. Mike is one of the faces of the franchise, so it's a little bit different. But you see what's happened with Luka. It ticked him up. It motivated Luka. He's working out. He's ready to go, and he's about to have a great season. That's the risk of trading off a superstar like that. Superstars don't come around. I don't care if you get 3 draft picks for him. There's no guarantee that you're going to draft another superstar. You already have one. You can't trade away a superstar. It's stupid. It's ridiculous, and that question to me is stupid. But yet again, they're talking about the Cowboys, and hey, good for Jerry, good for the Cowboys.
But this is what happens at this time, just getting ready for the season to start. Of course, there are preseason games that you can break down, but there was one probably even crazier than that. It was like are Aaron Rodgers' best years behind him? And the answer to that is obvious, yes. But it's a topic of discussion that they put out there.
No, Joe, he's about to have an MVP season this year and next year for the Steelers. He's never won back-to-back MVPs, has he?
No,
he's about to. His best years are ahead of him. Yeah, that's ridiculous. We don't do that around here. I refuse to stoop that low. Glad you're with us. I'm sorry. I just looked up and I saw that and I read the headline. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Come on. Let's talk some Razorback football. Steven Dix and the linebacker spoke yesterday to the media. And I got to tell you, we talked about this yesterday, but Steven Dix is one impressive-looking dude. I mean, he looks like you draw a picture of an SEC linebacker, that's what he looks like. When he walks out, you're like, that guy plays linebacker for, well, maybe the NFL. That's how big he is. He is very impressively built. And what I like, too, is he was well-spoken and had a lot of great things to say. Let's hear from Steven Dix.
I think it's definitely been a lot more smoother. I think I've gotten a really good grasp of the scheme, and now I'm just looking to work on the tiny things, man, the intricate details, just to make me a better player. Whatever it may be, with small details like communication and whatnot. But I think this camp has been going so well so far. I think it's just really good, so we can see what we got moving into the season, and we're evaluating just the pieces that we have, so we can put the best 11 out there, no matter what. You know what I'm saying, when we get to those games in the fall.
The theme of Saturday's scrimmage was big plays. I think there were 7 plays, 40 yards or more, that the offense generated against the second or third team defenses, and 1 against the first team defense. And Steven Dix was asked about that yesterday, and I loved his answer. And he's like, man, there's no need to panic. This was our first scrimmage. It was communication errors. You go back and we look at this, and we already know what went wrong in these 7 plays. It's communication. We've just got to talk better pre-snap, during the play, and be able to be on the same page. And I just thought that was such a calm and insightful answer for something that was, it's a little worrisome when the defense gives up that many big plays in one scrimmage, especially against a team you're familiar with. You've been practicing against this team, and, it gets to a point the defense has the advantage over your own offense because you know what's about to come. You've seen it over and over. You've seen this formation over. You know what this player, what kind of routes he runs, or the left tackle, and you just know how to beat each other after facing each other so many times, and defense usually starts getting the upper hand. And for the first scrimmage to give up that many big plays, yeah, and throw in the issues that they had last season, yeah, there's a reason to be concerned.
If they throw 10 of those deep passes, you want to see it about halfway, 5-5, 6-4, maybe for the offense. But you want to see the defense get some quality wins there. Mm-hmm. You don't want to see it dominated either way on either side of the ball. Now, whenever the defense does dominate, though, it's always, there's a built-in excuse that defense is a little ahead of offense when you first start camp. So maybe you can let that go and just say that the offense needs to get better. But if it's 7-3 in favor of offense, 8-2 in favor of offense, that's a problem, and that is something that you need to solve before it becomes a bigger problem once you get in season.
All right, more from the Razorback linebacker group and defensive coordinator Travis Williams.
We got a lot of our defense in. The June and July really helps us, kind of be further along than we were in the past. And so we got a lot of defense in, and now we got to now we're still installing, right? But then you got to slow it down so guys are not thinking so much, so you can continue to evaluate them. But we have a lot of our defense in.
One of the things that really jumped out to me yesterday in his press conference was he was asked about Cam Ball. And I think we're all high on Cam Ball because of, he's been here for 5 years. He's the only fifth-year senior that's been at Arkansas for all 5 years. Everybody else that's been there that long or been in school that long is a transfer. And others in his class have transferred out or already graduated in 4 years. And then you see Cam Ball as a player wearing that big old elbow brace last year. He couldn't even bend his arm, and he had to have surgery after the season. And then you see his infectious attitude, his charisma, leadership ability. He's easy to like. Yesterday, Travis Williams told the media that he turned down hundreds of thousands of dollars in the portal. that teams had contacted him or his advisor and let him know what kind of money was out there if he entered the portal. And he chose to come back to the University of Arkansas.
That says a lot about him.
Now,
and
I'm sure he's getting paid a little bit from the University of Arkansas, right?
But yeah, they had to take care of him.
Exactly. But to turn that kind of money down and to stay at Arkansas, on top of all those other things I've said about Cam Ball, dude, I'm a fan. I like Cam Ball, and I'm hoping he has a fantastic year. You know, we had Turnage on not too long ago, and that was one of the guys he said that was draftable with a good season and thought Cam Ball could be an NFL player. And I'm hoping the best for him. I hope he has a healthy season, you know, can stay injury-free.
That's the key to it.
Get out there and produce from that defensive tackle spot because he's got the motor, he's got the size, he's got all the tools to get drafted and make some more money in the professional life.
Yeah, hopefully it does go well for him. And he's kind of the focus of that defensive line because he's the most familiar name that's there, and he's the guy that has been around. So he can help those young guys out and show them what this defense is all about up front. The guys that are coming in, the guys that are getting their opportunity, that have been there for a while, he can show them what it's all about.
He is the guy on the defensive line. You think about it, the rest of the guys are either transferring in or they were backups, like Ian Griffard. He's moving up and getting more playing time, or Danny Solee moving up in the pecking order and getting more playing time. Quincy Rhodes, same story with him. Charlie Collins. But for a guy who has multiple starts and seasons under his belt, it is. It all starts and ends with Cam Ball. So, it is good to have that foundation, that rock, right there at the middle. That's a good place. It's almost like baseball. Shortstop, catcher, second baseman, center fielder, up the middle. That's where you want, you know, some experience. Same thing on defense. It's good to have that guy, defensive tackle, right there in the middle.
He's been a playmaker, so hopefully they'll find other playmakers around him.
Mm-hmm. That'll be the key for getting to the quarterback, at least for the defensive line. Let's see here. More from T. Will. Yeah, this is him kind of talking about what they're doing in practice right now.
We have a lot of ingredients, right? And we have to cook the meal. We got to put the ingredients in the right spot for the meal can be right. But we have the ingredients. Now we got to make sure, okay, it's not mildew, right? Or it's not spoil. What that means, okay, if it's not our standard, if they're not getting to the ball, they're not playing a physical brand of ball, that's not part of our ingredients. So we have the right pieces. We just have to put it all together. So it's been a good deal.
I love when the guys that are there for practice, the early portion of practice, and they'll do a kind of a participation chart, who was on first team, second team, third team, running the fastball drills that day. And they always say, and I'm glad they do, you know, this is just fastball drills. This is just the start of the day. This doesn't mean – this isn't a depth chart. You know, just because so-and-so is running with the first team today, the coaches have already told us, just like T. Will, they're trying different things throughout practice. They're working maybe this guy with first team slot corner one day, and the next day he may be second team safety. You know, they're moving around, trying guys at different positions with different guys to try to find those best 11 that can play the best together.
And that's why they only show so much of practice. Also, they don't want to give too much away, and then they come out with statements like that just so people won't – because – when you only see limited action, you start to draw your own conclusions from what you do see, and they want everyone to know not to get carried away with what they're actually seeing.
Let's go to the D3 Auto Sales text line. Take a look, a couple of your texts. We'll got more sound from Stephen Dix and Coach Travis Williams. We'll play that throughout the day. 501 writes in and says, Joe, as a Cleveland fan, I am thrilled that Pittsburgh signed Rodgers.
Yeah, there could be something to that, and I think, you know, and we can hear your response on this also, but I think they got him one in Shador with so many teams passing him over, and of course it's been limited action that we've seen, but take that out of the equation. We saw what he did in college before he even gets to the next level, and that's where so many were trying to take away from him, saying we've seen it, but can he do it on the next level? I mean, you can say that about a number one pick, number one overall pick. But they were trying to, like, slight Shador in such a manner where it's like he doesn't have a strong arm. Now we're hearing after seeing a few practices and the limited action, his arm looks really strong. He's making the throws, he's getting his feet set. He's doing everything the right way. He's going about it. But he's always done that. And so
like a quarterback that should have been drafted in the first round?
First and at worst, second round, maybe. But, I think he's going to prove some things to a lot of teams out there that passed him over. But he's still trying to play himself into an opportunity. So it's an interesting dynamic there with Browns because not only do they have 5 quarterbacks that can get on the field now, but they have 6 quarterbacks when you include Deshaun Watson. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how that all shakes out for them.
Have they announced anything for this weekend, what they're planning to do?
No, they haven't. But Shador will get some extended time. And then also Dylan Gabriel, Kenny Pickett still dealing with injuries. So if they're still dealing with injuries, he's going to get even more time.
Next up is TP in Little Rock. Wes, Joe, we love Cam Ball, but he ain't done nothing. Come on, TP. In 4 years. So what makes us think he's going to do something this year? Let's just call a spade a spade. Cam Ball's not a bad player. You make it sound like Cam Ball's a scrub. Cam Ball has started 20 games, played in 39 over 4 years. I'll take that experience on any team. Started all 13 games last year, 47 tackles, 4 for a loss, sack and a half. He is a solid contributor. He's a defensive tackle. Mm-hmm. A defensive tackle is not going to put up 10 sacks unless you're Aaron Donald.
Warren Sapp. Yeah, those guys.
Those are few and far between.
Right.
You take a solid guy that does his job at defensive tackle, that pushes the pocket towards the quarterback and also is there to stop the run and occupy blockers. Cam Ball's not a scrub.
Another guy that's in the current game, Dexter Lawrence, Giants. Yeah. That guy's a beast.
Yes.
Now,
but all 3 guys we mentioned were first-round picks, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, Cam's not. I'm not saying Cam Ball is a first-round pick, but what I'm saying is he is a draftable college player that can make an NFL roster. You don't toss him to the side, and certainly at Arkansas, you don't toss him to the side. Did you see the preseason All-American team from the 870? I did not. Well, there have been several preseason All-American teams come out. Was there one today that came out today? Was it the AP All-American team? I'm guessing since the AP, the Associated Press Top 25 came out yesterday. But no, I haven't really checked it out, but I'll do that. Pittman gone, good or bad season? I don't know. No, Pittman's not gone if it's a good season. If it's a bad season, yeah. I mean, and what's bad? 5 wins, 4 wins? Yeah, I do think he's gone. But if they win 6, 7 games, he's back. I think it's pretty simple.
ESPN did put out their All-American team.
Okay.
So Cade Klubnik is quarterback from Clemson.
I got it. That's fine.
Jeremiah Love, running back, Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Nicholas Singleton, Penn State. Jeremiah Smith, he's a receiver. Ryan Williams, receiver. Mm-hmm. Eli Stowers, Vandy, tight end.
He's the one that came with Diego Pavia from New Mexico State. Or New Mexico. Where'd they come from? It's New Mexico State?
Yeah, I
can't remember. Is that right? And that's where
Pavia, the coach, not coach.
The OC.
OC, yeah.
But no, that's where Mike Washington came from. Did he play with them?
I'm not sure.
Did they all come from New Mexico State?
Not sure. But that is where Mike Washington came from for sure. Aggies.
Yeah. That's crazy. I got to look into that now. I'm curious. By the way, I watched episode 6 of Any Given Saturday last night. It's so good. Guys, if you haven't started it, I got one more to go. One more to go. I got to finish it before the next big thing hits Netflix. Jerry Jones story. Next Tuesday night, a week from tonight. The 19th. The 19th it drops. Yeah. Ready for that. Oh, Cowboys fans. And if you hate the Cowboys, you're going to love it. Because I'm sure Jerry's going to say something crazy. All right. I think we're good.
Second team, Garrett Nussmeier. Second team quarterback.
Okay. I'm fine with that. I think there are a handful, more than a handful of quarterbacks deserving to be on that list. I mean, I like Sellers a lot. I like Lagway a lot. I like Aller.
Yeah, Drew Aller.
A lot. There's somebody I'm forgetting. Is it the Arizona State quarterback? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a good year for quarterbacks. I think the next year's draft, there's going to be plenty to choose from.
Well,
it's just who separates themselves this season. But a couple of them won't even be draft eligible.
That'll be an interesting dynamic. But it's always funny to hear the analysts say this is a quarterback-rich draft, this is not. And you still get about the same amount of quarterbacks drafted every year.
Desperate.
Doesn't matter.
NFL teams are desperate. Got to get that guy. Look, I see a bunch of people calling in. Y'all got to realize that we're working still through some technical issues, and Joe's not in the producer booth to answer the phone call, and we're sitting here having a conversation, so he can't get up in the middle of a conversation and go answer the phone.
Well, we can make all that happen, though.
The best is to call during a break when we're nothing's going on, and then he can answer the phone. But anyway, right now we got Kevin Bohannon coming up. We're going to talk some Razorback football with him, talk more about the defense, the linebackers, and just pick his brain, talk a little Razorback football. Coming up later in the show, Coach Z will join us, talk a little hoops with him. And then at 2:30, Brian Maupin, head coach of the Maumelle Hornets. We'll start breaking down the 5A. We did the 7A teams, we've done the 6A teams, and we're just kind of working our way down the list. Stick around. We're just getting started. It's going to be a good day. Next up, Kevin Bohannon, hogsports.com, talking a little Razorback football. It's Out of Bounds.
Get in the conversation with live fan feedback at 1037thebuzz.com. Presented on Out of Bounds by Gwatney Chevrolet in Jacksonville.
This is Sports Center.
There's roughly 1 month left in the Texas League regular season, and the Arkansas Travelers have some work to do if they want to claim a playoff spot. The Travs are 2 games behind the Tulsa Drillers for that playoff spot as they start a series tonight against the Northwest Arkansas Naturals in Springdale. Arkansas will throw left-hander Reed Van Scoter, who's 4-3 with a 4.73 ERA. Northwest Arkansas counters with left-hander Hunter Owen, who's also 4-3 but has a 3.79 ERA. First pitch from Arvest Ballpark is scheduled for 7:05. That means Stephen Davis will have the Visit Hot Springs pregame show at 6:50 on our sister station 106.7 Buzz 2. I'm Todd Pierce for the Buzz Radio Network.
What drives you? Family moments, new adventures, or just the love of the open road? Whatever it is, Gwatney Chevrolet is here to help you get there. For generations, we've been more than a dealership. We've been part of life's milestones, big and small. With a team that puts you first and a car buying experience that's easy and stress-free, we're here to find the perfect vehicle for what drives you. Visit us in Jacksonville or online at GwatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Fried green tomato salad is back and better than ever at Eat My Catfish. It'll only be here for a limited time, so stop by or order online from any of our 7 Eat My Catfish locations to try this delicious fan favorite today. Eat fresh, eat local, eat My Catfish.
Looking for your next Arkansas getaway? Experience El Dorado, the natural state's rising star in entertainment. Catch a live concert at the Murphy Arts District. Tee off at Mystic Creek, one of the South's top-rated golf courses. Unwind at the Haywood, part of Hilton's exclusive Tapestry collection. Enjoy a stroll through the vibrant, revitalized downtown filled with unique shops, delicious dining, and live entertainment. El Dorado, closer than you think, better than you imagined. Visit GoElDorado.com. That's GoElDorado.com.
Once active and adventurous, Stephanie was sidelined by joint pain. She was losing touch with what gave her real joy.
I want to stay active, and if I don't do something now to feel better that will keep me out hiking and running and doing all those activities. My health's going to suffer from it. I had the treatment at QC Kinetics.
Their all-natural regenerative treatments use the restorative biologics from Stephanie's body. As the healing properties went to work, Stephanie realized something one day.
I was like, wow, I don't feel any pain. I have no problem going up and down stairs. I have no problem going down mountains. Snowboarding felt good again.
If you see Stephanie, give her a thumbs up. That is, if you can catch her.
And now I can totally keep up with my friends in their 30s, and I'm 55.
Don't even think about giving up. There's lots of life left to live. Call now for a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 501-214-5880. That's 501-214-5880. 501-214-5880.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter agents Jay Vandover, Steve Ferguson, or Alex Blake in Little Rock today.
Hey, it's Chuck the Promo Guy. Join me every Tuesday morning for Check-In with Chuck, brought to you by Hubbard Power Sports Can-Am and Sea-Doo in Russellville, where you can get rates as low as 0.99% on Can-Am ATVs and side-by-sides, and huge end-of-year savings with rebates up to $3,500 plus additional in-store discounts.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio.
All right, back at it. Glad you're with us. During the break, I did look it up. Mike Washington, yes, is from New Mexico State. Eli Stowers and Diego Pavia are also from New Mexico State. How about that? Now, they didn't play together because Mike Washington was just there last year when, of course, they were at Vanderbilt. But to have those three guys coming from New Mexico State, not a powerhouse of a team. But although when Diego Pavia was there, they went to a bowl game, won their bowl game. And Eli Stowers.
It's a place that's been built on getting players better and then players moving on. But, I mean, they'll deal with that. They'll take some players there for a couple of years, and if they have a good team, because these rosters are continuously changing, they're fine with it. They'll bring in the next group.
Let's bring in our next guest, Kevin Bohannon, hogsports.com. What's up, Kevin? How are you?
What's up, guys? It's we're getting closer. That's all I can say.
Right on, Cable.
Getting closer.
No, I was thinking about it last night. We got some benefit games next week.
Yeah, sure do.
I mean, there's some a week from tonight. There's some benefit games. So, I mean, we're 7 days away from high school football.
Yeah, high school football getting cranked up. Of course, the Razorbacks had their first fall scrimmage of the year. They'll have one more of those, and next thing you know, they'll be getting ready for Alabama A&M, and with I imagine a look ahead into some of their future competition as well.
Have you? Did you get to sneak in and watch a little bit of the scrimmage?
No, I did not. That was one of the things they were very big about. And I tell you what, if Trey Biddy couldn't get in there and do it, nobody could. Yeah. So Trey did his walk and talk afterwards. But Coach Pittman met with the media afterwards and ran through everything. We got unofficial stats, and from what we've seen in open practice so far is what we saw on Saturday. Mike Washington Jr. is that guy. I heard you guys talking about him before. How did a guy like that go from Buffalo to New Mexico State? Now he's in the SEC. He's looked the part so far. And I think the best thing about him is he has pushed Braylon Russell to be better. He's pushed Russell to, and Coach Petrino said it in his press conference today after practice, he's forced him to be the hammer instead of the nail and be more aggressive, making his run lanes more aggressive. And I think that's what competition does. It breeds success.
All these guys know they're going to get opportunities. So in saying that, they are competing against each other, but also they're helping the team in the big picture. And then maybe some of these younger running backs like Cam Settles, maybe he can play his way into some opportunities also.
Yeah, I think Cam is, right there on the verge of maybe that fourth or fifth, fourth spot right now. They said they're going to use three most likely, and that's Washington, Russell, and Rodney Hill, because in the running back room they have a diversity that they want various types of running backs. You want a scat back, you want a hammer like Russell, and then you get an all-around guy like Washington. Well, Settles still has to figure out what kind of guy he's going to be. I don't think he's going to be the burner. I think he's not a battering ram. I think he's more of that all-around type back, and he showed that at Parkview when they were able to, get the ball in his hands a few different ways. So, it takes his learning curve and lessens it. And I think that's what you've seen in the tight end group, the O-line group, and the receiver group. Look at the O-line group, guys. You got a group of freshmen that have come in, whether it be true freshmen or redshirt, and they've got five on the line. They got one at each position that they can learn from a Corey Robinson or Carmona, a Caden Kittler. Guys, you're going to see Cash Gwatney play in an SEC game at center. When you're three deep at center, and Coach Mateo said last week that they can run out there and feel comfortable winning an SEC game with all three guys, that is what I, as a Razorback fan and as a media member, envisioned Sam Pittman being able to do. Now, can they do it during the season, be more consistent? That's the $1 million question at this point.
Yeah. Kevin Bohannon is with us, hogsports.com. Kevin, I've been able to hear a couple of things from sources from at practice. One, very spirited practices between the offense and defense, so much so that at least one time, some of the coaches had to be separated by the players because of they were going at it so well. I love to hear that. And then there's another story. I've heard this from two different people, so I feel good about telling it on the radio. It is Mike Washington and Monte Harrison have created almost like a leadership council. They're policing their position groups. And an unnamed player, I'll say, showed up late. And he was supposed to do some extra work on the field. And this player declined to do it.
Yeah.
And Monte went up to him and said, "You need to do this."
Yeah.
And with Mike Washington's backing, and he turned around and went and did his punishment, and that was the end of the story. He did what he was supposed to do for being late. I loved hearing that you have some guys on this team, and especially a Mike Washington who's just fresh to the team.
Yeah, exactly.
Taking over the team and policing itself.
Yeah, and Washington was a summer captain, and that was based on his work and what he did on the field and during that 8-week summer cycle. So Taylor Green's doing the same thing. That's the good thing. So instead of Coach Petrino going to have to yell at a wide receiver, Taylor Green's going and doing that. We haven't had that on this football team in the past, guys. They had to create a leadership council, the coaches did, saying, okay, yeah, we have captains, but then we have guys that are going to do it. But they were just putting guys in positions based on if they were a starter, how long they've been there. Monte Harrison, I tell you what, may be the unsung hero of that wide receiver room, and I'll tell you why. He's been in the grind. He's been in minor league baseball. He's traveled and played 144 games, traveling on a bus, sleeping in motels night after night. These guys that are going into college, he's got it made right now. So he's going out there and showing, and he's doing it by, being vocal and with what he does on the field. Coach Petrino thinks he's going to work himself into the rotation at one of the outside receiver positions, and I am all for it.
What kind of expectations would you have for Monte Harrison, being that he's been there, he learned the system last year, and now he is coming into his second year, one of the older players on the team that you don't necessarily expect the most out of him, but he does know the system.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And if you know the offense and if you know Coach Petrino's offense, they went through install last week, which was week 1. Now they're kind of refining everything and finding out what their identity is, what plays work best in certain situations, what wide receiver groupings. I think the offense is going to be more varied this year. It's going to be more versatile. When I say that, I mean it's going to be more they can stretch you out horizontally and vertically. They have the speed guys like Raylan Sharp, C.J. Brown, Jalen Brown. Monte Harrison can go up and get a ball. And then they're able to run the fly sweeps, the jet sweeps, things like that. But Coach Petrino is honest and transparent about one thing. If you know the playbook and you know certain situations, you will get on the field more. That's what's keeping some people like Courtney Crutchfield from getting in the top 5 or 6 rotation right now. So Monte Harrison, knowing the playbook and knowing maybe a couple of different positions, will get him in a position to get on the field and make plays because his athleticism will take over at that point. We've seen that. He's 6'3", 230, runs fast, jumps high. In that situation, you throw the man the ball because at that point it's all about getting open because the quarterbacks what are they going to do? They're going to throw it to the open guys. And if he can catch 15 to 20 balls this year, I think that's a very good, productive year for him.
And I like Rohan at tight end. I think he gives that versatility of a speed threat down the middle, something that maybe they didn't have in the past.
Yeah, him and Jaden Platt, they'll run more seam routes and post routes. Coach Petrino made a point to say the tight end room is better than it was this time last year. They're able to do more. The good thing about Rohan is, and I keep catching myself because I'll call him Rohan Gaines going back, but it's Rohan Jones, that he can be an inline blocker on the in-man on the line of scrimmage, and that allows them to do even more. They can do more play-action passes out of that. They can have him block down and then leak out on a 5-yard, what I call a leak route. So that allows Taylor Green to get out on a bootleg, make that read, and that's when you get the crosser over the top. Think back to the 2010 Alabama game, guys. Ryan Mallett had that bootleg pass. DJ Williams open over the middle, but it was Jarius Wright that got the intermediate crossing route and took it down the field. That's the type of offense we're going to be able to see this year because they've got guys that can do more than one thing.
What do you think of coaches' comments, the coaches as a whole, about the defense and how they performed in the scrimmage?
It goes back to the same thing that has happened the last couple of years in breakdown situations. It's about communication. One thing is they didn't have their leader out there. Xavier Sori was not out there. I think that matters. I don't care if it's first string defense, second string defense. It doesn't matter. You have to communicate. And as exotic as these offensive are these days, defensive backs have to communicate constantly. And I'm talking the back seven. That's where it's going to be vital for Arkansas to have success this year because the defensive line, they're getting better, but there's so many unknowns. The secondary is bigger. They're faster. Larry Worth is going to be good back there. It's just about shoring things up at this point, and it's like Travis Williams said, it's nothing that can't be fixed. I'm always a big believer in that. If there's something I see in a game, and having an offensive coordinator background and have called plays before on the field, I'm a big believer in that. So at this point, I believe them. It's just a few things that they need to make a change on. Ian Gaffard on that touchdown run by Mike Washington, if he takes a step that's a little bit more flatter and gets through the guy and is looking at the running back, Washington doesn't make that game. So I agree with them.
And you hear so many times that you want mistakes to be made in practice because that's when they can be fixed.
Absolutely.
Who was the quarterback? He was like, I might throw like 7 interceptions in training camp. I don't care because I'm seeing if I can fit that ball in. And if I see I can't, well, then I don't.
Chances.
Yeah, I don't throw it during the regular season because I've learned my lesson. You can't throw that ball against these safeties, these defensive backs, and it goes with every position on there. Make your mistakes now, fix it, and then it's not a problem during the year.
Yeah, and coordinators are doing the same thing. They're knowing what their limitations are. And if you know your limitations as a coordinator, you're a step ahead of your competition, and that's what we've seen so far.
Did you get to hear from Petrino today? I haven't had the chance to listen.
Yes, it's really good. Go back. He had a lot of great stuff. He broke down the wide receiver competition, talked about C.J. Brown, and now he has been able to work at a couple of different spots, and that's going to get him on the field more. He talked about the running back room and how Mike Washington has come out and been that all-around guy and made Braylon a little bit better. The hammer and nail comment came from Petrino today. And then he went on about the offensive line, how he feels that they are better. And overall, they're in a better position this year than they were last year. It's not just about Taylor Green being in his second year as a quarterback, but it's the group overall as a unit. They're able to do more. And I think that's why this offense is going to be better this year because not only do you have a second year in Green, but you have an offense that's just better. They have better players at the positions. You got a deeper offensive line. You're going to rotate 7, possibly 8 guys on that unit. So they're better, so they're going to perform better. And that's what I think he is most excited about right now.
Besides C.J. Brown, any other receivers he mentioned as stepping up?
Yeah, Raylan Sharp, he had him at Missouri State, so he's called plays for him before. He pointed that out today. And he's going to be able to use his talents to his best advantage. He likes Antonio Jordan. You just got to know the playbook. That's the big thing with him. And then Omega Blake, I think, has the potential to be that Andrew Armstrong from last year. He's got great hands. He doesn't drop too many balls. And it's looking like he's going to be that, him and Sharp right now. And then I'll put C.J. Brown as the third. Those are going to be your top 3 wideouts so far.
How about K.J. Jackson? What do they? How do they feel about him?
Yeah. And one thing Coach Petrino pointed out today is the maturity. He's not as hard on himself as he was last year, and that kind of broke out during spring practice. They were able to break him down a little bit. The VR tool that they have, the headset, that's helped him out quite a bit. I love the way the ball comes out of KJ's hand. I broke that down last week in an article on 24/7 Sport on hogsports.com that he looks more confident. You can see it in his throws. He drives the ball down the field. He's able to read the defenses better, and he's going to get some reps this year, guys. Hopefully it's with blowout games and he's able to get some situation, but they're going to have him ready. He's been running with the ones some, so if something happens to Taylor Green, because they're going to have quarterback design runs and he's going to take hits, he'll be a lot more confident this year.
How about Taylor Green? How's he feeling?
Yeah, he looks great. That's the thing. He's carrying a little bit more weight this year. He's up to 235, and his footwork has gotten better. His overall mechanics have gotten better. Remember last year, guys, it seems like the ball would just kind of flutter and float out of his hand. He drives the ball now, whether it be on a comeback route, a post down the middle. He has better touch on the ball. So overall, the mechanics have gotten better. He's getting his shoulders to where they need to be on every throw that we've seen so far, and I'm liking what I see.
Yeah, there was a game, and I guess it was probably the Pine Bluff game, and he did everything right, and then Malachi came in, and you just saw a different zip on the ball. And you're like, whoa, all right.
Where'd that come from?
Yeah, exactly. And so, that could be huge if he's fixed that and has a better
It's shorter. It's a shorter motion too, which that alleviates a lot of things that could go wrong. So he still kind of winds up a little bit, but it's got more tight velocity on it. It's got a little bit tighter spin on it.
Do you think it bothers him at all that you have all this talk about some of the SEC quarterbacks, whether it's South Carolina, Florida, LSU, whatever the case? He's not talked about really at all.
I think for him, and as much as I've been around and have been in interviews and seen him talk, I think it's all about him and his teammates. He can do the talking out there, and it's just about proving everything wrong. He knew coming into this year his deficiencies and his opportunities for improvement. So it's about going out, addressing those, being more confident and consistent with keeping the ball in their hands, making pre-snap reads, making good decisions. That was his deal last year, decision making, making those decisions faster. And I think he's more focused on that and just lets the work speak for itself at this point.
Hey, Cabo, before I let you go, I want to ask you a couple baseball questions.
Yeah.
Any of our guys, the Razorback guys that were drafted, are they doing anything right now? Are they playing any minor league ball?
Some have gone to rookie ball. I've got a list. I haven't been, with football going on, but I've seen some names pop up. Gage Wood went down to Clearwater to do some training. They were going to build him up, and then they may get him some work by the end of the month. Some of the hitters have gone to rookie ball. Most of them are between Arizona and Florida at this point.
Yeah, I was figuring at least I get the pitchers, after most of them, like Kate Anderson getting shut down by the Mariners. I get that. Although Gage didn't throw nearly as many innings with his, injury.
Yeah.
But I was like that. Some of the, like Aloy or Davalon, I would figure they would be playing and getting more at bats, or at least professional at bats.
Yeah, and a lot of those first top 3 round guys usually they will get them to their training facilities, kind of get their baseline for where they're at, and then if they're able to go out and play. I know Slade Caldwell did that last year. He just did some controlled, extended spring scrimmage games is what they called them. So just controlled scrimmage and things like that. So I think next year you'll see, it'll be interesting to see, where their assignments are. You'll expect a lot of them that'll be in low A, but, whether it be Lloyd, Avalon, Root, Gagewood, high A is most likely landing place for those 4 guys.
Good stuff. Hey, Kevin, thanks, man. We appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Anytime, guys.
Kevin Bohannon, hogsports.com, joining us on Out of Bounds. We'll take a break. We'll wrap up the first hour. You can hit us up, 661-1037, or you can text us, same number, D3 Auto Sales text line, 661-1037. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Floyd Seafood on Keel Avenue in Sherwood is having a massive summer store-wide sale. Save up to 30% off everything in the store. Limited quantities, bring your ice chests. Floyd'sMeatandSeafood.com. 30% off store-wide at Floyd Seafood.
Hi, it's Chris Zender here at Frank Fletcher Dodge Chrysler Jeep in Sherwood. The new 2026 Rams are here. These new trucks have the best warranty in the industry. 10 years, 100,000 miles on the powertrain. Come in and also ask about our special on the all-new return of the Hemi motor. We've got discounts up to $12,000 off remaining on 2025 Rams and finance rates as low as 1.9%. And also $8,500 off all new Ram 2500 heavy duties. The new Jeep Wrangler up to $5,000 off. And the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee up to $7,000 off. And up to $3,000 off the all-new Jeep Compass. We make it easy to buy. No high pressure, no haggling. And don't worry about your credit. Go to FletcherCredit.com and get pre-approved in minutes. Folks, we're still buying cars every day. So bring your old car to Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood and turn it into cash. At Fletcher Dodge, you always get the best price, the lowest finance rate, and more for your trade. Shop us before you buy anywhere else. Come see us in person at Fletcher Dodge on Warden Road in Sherwood or shop online at FletcherDeals.com.
Make your yard the envy of the neighborhood with Cabot Outdoors. Right now, when you purchase a Hustler Fast Track Series mower, receive your choice of a free pressure washer or generator, an unbeatable bonus of up to $7.99. For the month of August, to get an extra $500 off. Supplies are limited. Offer ends August 31st. The Hustler Fast Track delivers precision, comfort, and durability for homeowners who demand more. Cabot Outdoors, 901 South Pine Street in Cabot. Find them on Facebook. Join Roger and Baz Thursday morning, taking Morning Mayhem to Bath Fitter, where you can get 0 payments and 0 interest for 12 months. No gimmicks, just real savings. Find out more at BathFitterLittleRock.com.
Now that it's summer, we're blowing out prices at HJ Trailer Sales. Through the end of the month at factory cost, some even below. Aluminum truck beds in stock marked down to $6,500 installed. All bedrock beds, $4,900 installed. Butler hay beds, $12,800 installed. Need a trailer? Good Guys 22-foot, 10K, $8,100. All air tow trailers under $20,000. Delta 30-foot, 14K gooseneck, only $10,900. HJ Trailer Sales on Facebook or hjtrailersales.com. Hot Springs and Paragould.
The Arkansas Poultry Federation presents Wingstock 2024 on Saturday, August 10th from noon to 3 at Simmons Bank Arena. Indulge in all-you-can-eat chicken wings featured by local restaurants and vendors who will be dishing up their best wing to compete for the People's Choice Award and the coveted Golden Wing Award. Plus, a variety of domestic and craft beers available for purchase. Tickets on sale now at the Arena box office or Ticketmaster.com. Brought to you in part by KARK4, Fox 16, and 103.7 The Buzz.
Looking for burgers, barbecue, beer, bourbon, ball games, and brunch? Look no further than Washita Bar and Grill, 915 Central Avenue in beautiful downtown Hot Springs. Washita Bar and Grill, family and pet friendly, with indoor and outdoor seating available. Bingo Bango Brunch, served on Sundays from 11 till 3, with live music Thursday through Saturday. Take a look on Facebook to see what events they've got going on this week, and join the fun at Washita Bar and Grill, Central Avenue, downtown Hot Springs.
Shipments of spring and summer fashions are arriving at Bell & Sword. That means swimwear from Saks, Peter Millar golf wear and shirts, Johnny O's store within a store. Be sure to check out the Faraday line and Martin Dingman shoes and leather goods. So hurry in for a great value on quality men's clothing at Bell & Sword for your spring and summer items, and you'll look fantastic. Bell & Sword, 1011 Oak Street in downtown Conway on Facebook and Instagram.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Gwatney Chevrolet. Driving, trust every mile.
Get those fantasy draft parties. Get them scheduled right now at Twin Peaks. Go to twinpeaksrestaurant.com/fantasy draft. You can enter for a shot to win $1,000 thanks to Molson Coors. You get a draft kit loaded with everything you need. $50 kickback card for the commissioner. $5 kickback cards for every league member. And it is the back-to-school costume party at Twin Peaks all week, so you can get plenty of drink specials and look into those menu options with some food also. And speaking of that, it is happy hour, which is 2 to 7, so it starts here shortly. With apps starting at $2, lunch combo $7.99. Later happy hour, 10 to close, flatbreads for just $8. UFC 319 is coming up this weekend, so you'll have that for a viewing option. Combat sports always there at Twin Peaks with boxing, plenty of NFL preseason games. You can catch it all there at Twin Peaks. It's Twin Peaks, Eats, Drink, Scenic Views.
Wes Moore and Joe Franklin with you. Out of Bounds, finishing up our first hour. All right, so got a little update to John Mateer. John Mateer, the Oklahoma quarterback, transferring in with his offensive coordinator, supposed to be the guy at Oklahoma. There have been some allegations that he gambled on sports. That is a Venmo account. There were pictures of a Venmo account, and it said for sports gambling. It was like paying off of a debt. Sports gambling was the note. Well, John Mateer has spoken, and Oklahoma has spoken. The allegation, this is from John Mateer. The allegations that I once participated in sports gambling are false. My previous Venmo descriptions did not accurately portray the transactions in question, but they were instead inside jokes between me and my friends. I have never bet on sports. I understand the seriousness of the matter, but recognize that, taken out of context, these Venmo descriptions suggest otherwise. I can assure my teammates, coaches, and officials at the NCAA that I have not engaged in any sports gambling. And Oklahoma also came out and said they are aware of the allegations. They have no evidence of anything that the NCAA needs to look into, nor are they looking into it.
Well, that's good. That's good if they're going to clear him. So he's spoken up for himself. Oklahoma has his back, and maybe this is the end of it.
You know, first when this came out, I was like, surely. And I know dumb kids. Our kids are dumb and do dumb things, right? And I'm like, but surely, you know, if you're gambling on sports and you know it's wrong, you're not going to put in the notes sports gambling. You know, I've done silly, what I thought were funny things when I write somebody a check, and in the memo I'll say this was for something, you know?
Right.
It wasn't for something. It was just, I'm just, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We do dumb things to be funny, and maybe that's what it is. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Hopefully that is the case.
Hope so.
But that's a whole different deal too when you have to, because at one time you didn't have to put notes for whatever a payment was. Now I think it's required on most apps.
It's good for accounting purposes.
It is. I keep it simple, though, on that stuff.
Coming up on next on Out of Bounds, we've got the Razor Hog Update brought to you by Standing Firm Farms. Coach Z joins us in the next hour. And Brian Maupin, the head coach of the Bryant Hornets. Stick around. Hour number 2's next.
Are you still on the sidelines? Then it's time you suit up and get in the game. Download Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app, Bet Saracen, today.
It's Justin Acri for CertaPro Painters, and I highly recommend the folks at CertaPro for your next project, whether it's for your home or your business. Interior or exterior, doesn't matter. They always go the extra mile. They painted the exterior of my home before, and what impressed me the most was the attention to detail. They notice a few boards that need minor repairs before they paint them. They will take care of that as well and save you headaches later on. Schedules fill up fast, so get on the schedule now at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate now at CertaPro.com.
Come check out the latest in large-scale logging equipment, attachments, supplies, technology, and services at the Southwest Forest Products Expo August 22nd through the 23rd at the Hot Springs Convention Center. Watch the Timberworks Lumberjack Show. See chainsaw sculptures by Artistry in Wood. Visit the online video arcade. It's fun for the whole family. Visit arcloggers.com for schedule, info, training, workshops, and links to the online ticket hub. That's arcloggers.com. 2-day pass for those 16 and older is $10. Kids under 16 free. See you in Hot Springs at the Southwest Forest Products Expo.
A high school teacher and football coach at Clarendon is facing charges for sexually assaulting a minor. According to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, state troopers arrested 27-year-old Caleb Gannon during a traffic stop in West Memphis. The Sheriff's Office requested he be investigated by state police last month. Gannon made his first court appearance yesterday. He was charged with felony rape and possession of child sexual abuse material. Gannon's being held by the Prairie County Sheriff's Office on a $3 million bond. When asked about his arrest, reps with the Clarendon School District declined to comment at this time. One man now under arrest in Jefferson County because sheriff's deputies there say he impersonated one of their own. We're told investigation began last Thursday after 51-year-old Terrence Rogers identified himself as a deputy and took a person's gun, claiming its magazine was illegal. Rogers was arrested yesterday for first-degree criminal impersonation, among other charges. Deputies actually on the force want anyone who was approached by Rogers and gave him any property to give them a call. I'm Sincere Tonsil from KRK4 Today for the Buzz Radio Network.
Get in the conversation with live fan feedback at 1037thebuzz.com. Presented on Out of Bounds by Gwatney Chevrolet in Jacksonville.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Juliana Cullen.
We'll have a mix of sun and clouds throughout the rest of your Tuesday with high temperatures warming into the mid-90s. Feels like temperatures could be in the upper 90s, though, with a few scattered showers and storms possible this afternoon. It's about a 20% chance for rain throughout the rest of the day. This is meteorologist Juliana Cullen with the Arkansas Storm Team for the Buzz Radio Network.
Benihana Happy Hour Specials, $3, $6, $9. Sushi, food, and cocktails. Available 5 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday at Benihana Bar.
Hi, this is Joe Klein with Corky's Ribs and Barbecue. Whether you're dining in for daily specials like Cheese Dip Happy Hour, driving through for a barbecue bowl pickup order, or prefer our full-service catering, our professional staff at Corky's has you covered. Corky's in Little Rock and North Little Rock. We'll see you soon. And be sure to listen each week when I stop by 1037 The Buzz.
With Oaklawn Sports, the action never stops and the season is never over. It's now easier than ever to wager on your favorite sports all year long. Go from football to basketball to baseball to golf. Bet on what you want, when you want, with the brand you trust. Oaklawn Sports even offers ways to bet on cricket, rugby, table tennis, and more. If it's a sport, chances are you can wager on it. Plus, it's now simpler to deposit and withdraw money from your account. Bet all year long with Oaklawn Sports, Arkansas's best sports betting app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
What drives you? Family moments, new adventures, or just the love of the open road? Whatever it is, Gwatney Chevrolet is here to help you get there. For generations, we've been more than a dealership. We've been part of life's milestones, big and small. With a team that puts you first and a car buying experience that's easy and stress-free, we're here to find the perfect vehicle for what drives you. Visit us in Jacksonville or online at GwatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Looking for your next ride? Come on down to Hubbard Power Sports, your local, family-owned Can-Am and Sea-Doo dealer. We've got the latest and greatest Can-Am ATVs, side-by-sides, and spiders to power your weekend fun. And right now, get up to $3,500 off in rebates, plus in-store discounts, or financing as low as 0.99% on select models. Whether you're hitting the trails, working the land, or cruising in style, we've got what you never even knew you needed. On the road, on the water, or in the trails, we've got the ride for you.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself.
1, 2, 3, Wildcat!
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
See Shelter Agent Lawrence Forrester in Cabot, Steve Fisher in Stuttgart, or Kyle Stone in Pine Bluff today.
And ESPN Radio Extra Point. with Myron Medcalf.
Caleb Williams was the unanimous number one pick after his junior season when he won the Heisman. On paper, it looked like he had more than any number one pick at quarterback had ever had before. Find out the offensive line was terrible, but he also made a lot of mistakes. He was outplayed by his peers. We saw Bo Nix show signs of growth that Caleb Williams didn't show. We saw Drake May show signs of growth that Caleb Williams didn't show. We saw Michael Penix Jr. have flashes that at times Caleb Williams couldn't match, and obviously Jaden Daniels did things that were remarkable for a rookie. Caleb Williams still has something to prove, and he's not going to grow if you keep the training wheels on him. You can't do that. Either he can play or he can't. At the end of the day, that's the NFL. And if you're Ben Johnson and this is your first year as a head coach and you're saying, we don't want to see him out there yet, well, then you got a problem. Because to me, I would feel like you were saying you don't think he's ready or that there's some flaw that you don't trust for him to be out there. And that's all bad no matter what the reason.
Your fantasy draft is here. The Smack Talk is starting, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker.
Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio, this is Out of Bounds with Wes Moore and Joe Franklin on 103.7 The Buzz. Your Razor Hog Update is brought to you by Standing Firm Farms in Greenbrier. StandingFirmFarms.com for high-end restaurant quality, fresh Angus beef delivered to your doorstep. Get a hold of them at StandingFirmFarms.com.
Bobby Petrino, Taylor Green, KJ Jackson spoke with the media today. Yesterday, though, it was the defensive coordinator, Travis Williams, and a little bit from Steven Dix. We'll start with T. Will. Fall camp. They're working on things.
We have a lot of ingredients, right? And we have to cook the meal. We got to put the ingredients in the right spot for the meal can be right. But we have the ingredients. Now we got to make sure, okay, it's not mildew, right? Or it's not spoiled. What that means, okay, if it's not our standard, they're not getting to the ball, they're not playing a physical brand of ball, that's not part of our ingredients. So we have the right pieces. We just have to put it all together. So it's been a good deal.
He also talked a lot about the linebackers, and that may be the most solid group on the defense. Looks like they have several, at least 4, maybe 5 guys that they can play right now. Here's Coach T. Will on the linebackers.
You know, Sori and Dix, Shaw has been really good, and Andrew Harris has been really good. Trent Welling has been a really good get for us out of the portal. A guy that has a lot of experience, a guy that's going to be able to play special teams for us, a guy that's going to be able to help us on defense. And then you got Wyatt Simmons that's continued to blossom. See, the thing about Wyatt, he got redshirted last year, and then we started spring ball. He had the hamstring. So now you're getting to see him get more reps. He's a guy, man, he goes like he goes hard and plays the right way. So we have some good guys there, good nucleus of guys, and then you got Tavion Wallace, who's a true freshman, you know, that's out there and he's playing with the older guys and doing some different things there. So we have some good pieces in the linebacker room.
All right, that should make you feel a little bit better about the defense. And speaking of some of these linebackers, here's Steven Dix. He and Xavier Sori seem to be the guys, 1A, 1B.
I think for the most part, I think it's just making our presence known out there as linebackers, man. I think me and him being on the same page a lot, having that chemistry, really having that spread throughout the defense so that we were all, you know, working at 11 as one, just so we can be more unison out there on the defense and be more dominant.
More from Steven Dix. Big dude. I mean, he is very solid.
I mean, that's just how I was raised, man. My dad was always in the gym. My granddad was always in the gym. Like, they were always really, really big, like, fit people. And then I think that's just what kind of, got passed down to me genetically. But I think the work ethic that my dad taught me at a very young age, it was just always work, man. And that's what we did. We hit the gym, we hit the fields, doing push-ups when I was like 5 years old, man. He just has me doing them like in between commercials when we're watching TV and stuff. So I think that's just definitely my dad, just a fact of my dad in my life, just, making sure that I'm strong, physically, more so mentally as well.
Well, he is mentally strong too. Not just a big dude, but he knows you got to be smart to play linebacker.
I think it's definitely been a lot more smoother. I think I've gotten a really good grasp of the scheme, and now I'm just looking to work on the tiny things, man, the intricate details, just to make me a better player. Whatever it may be, with small details like communication and whatnot. But I think this camp has been going so well so far. I think it's just really good, so we can see what we got moving into the season, and we're evaluating just the pieces that we have, so we can put the best 11 out there, no matter what. You know what I'm saying, when we get to those games in the fall.
All right, let's talk some more about the Razorbacks. Coach Z joins us. Matt Zimmerman joins us on Out of Bounds. Hey, Coach, how are you?
I'm doing good. What's going on, Wes?
Man.
Joe, hope y'all doing well.
Counting down the days, Coach. How's Fayetteville treating you?
Fayetteville's great. Remember last week we talked about how nice and quiet it was, no traffic. You could go to restaurants, you could get around, and that all started changing Wednesday. And it's chaos up here right now. We're going to have about 35,000 students, and in the summers there's usually about they estimate 4,000 to 5,000 stay in the summer. So 30,000 new people started moving in last week, and there's a lot of traffic, a lot of cars, and a lot of freshmen, over 7,000 freshmen.
Coach, what are you doing these last few days getting ready for school to start and classes to open there?
Yeah, we've just been pretty busy at the foundation. I ran by football for a little bit, and I'm over the basketball building right now, and it's still pretty quiet, but there's guys starting to come back. Darius Acuff's already back. Of course, Thiele's up here. He's from Springdale, and he's here. He's in the gym working, and those guys, it's been good to see these guys coming back, because the last real practice they had was July 16th. They had a good, hard practice, and those guys have been off. So they've had 3 weeks to be away, and they're not all back yet, so really almost about a month. And school starts on Monday the 18th, and they can go right back into workouts, practices, back in the weight room. So it's going to be good for basketball. Get those guys back, get them working, and they need to spend as much time together as they can, because they'll start playing exhibitions in October, and the first real game early November. It just keeps getting earlier. That first Monday's like November the 3rd. That's going to be the first game, and so it's a quick start.
Do you feel like this team is going to be a balanced scoring team, or do you think there will be that one guy that's kind of their leading scorer?
Yeah, definitely a good question. I would think that it'll be more balanced, because I think Trevin's going to have a lot better numbers based on his work and how he improved as last season went on. And then Carter, to me, will have a great chance to lead the team in scoring, just as versatile as he is. But Darius Acuff, P.J. Wagner, those are all double-figure scoring guys. And I think it's got a chance to have one of those teams where that you're going to have maybe 5 or 6 averaging from 10 to 15 points a game, which is really nice if you can get 6 of them in that ballpark. Number one, it means you're scoring a lot of points, but you got a lot more depth. They're not all going to. There's some guys that are going to play and help that probably won't average in double figures for sure. Probably 2 or 3 of them, but like Malik Ewan, he's a double-figure scorer easily at Florida State. He's coming in here. He's expecting to have a big year. You add him to those guys. Billy Richmond's a guy that's probably thinking, hey, I can average 10 or 12 points a game. So you have a lot of potential in scoring. And I was talking to Chin Coleman, and he does a lot of stuff with the defense. And they didn't do a ton of defense this summer, but they did do some. And he said that, man, these guys just pick up more on defensive stuff. He really likes how they do that, and he thinks they've got a chance to be a really good defensive team, especially with the size and the length and the athleticism. Seems like we say that every year because we usually have pretty good athletes here. But he feels like this could be a really good defensive team. And Nick Pringle, Malik Ewan, Trevin Brazil, you got some guys that can block shots, change shots. And nothing against Big Z, but they're just a little bit more versatile than him. They can slide their feet a little better. They're going to be able to kick guys in front of them a little bit better. They're going to be able to switch off if there's screens if they want to switch better. So it could be that, but I do think this will be a balanced team. I don't see anybody averaging 18 to 22 points a game, which is huge numbers. I don't think this team's made up that way.
Seems like this team also, it could be a case based on matchups, game to game. Some games they'll be led by the guards in the backcourt. Other games they'll be led by front court players and play maybe a different style where you want to dump it into the big men or get those easy shots around the rim. It just seems like that is the makings of a complete team where you could see that from this team.
Yeah, you could. They're driving type of players better than they are just catching and shooting the basketball. And there's some guys that can really catch and shoot, like Malik Thomas, Carter, but driving is going to be the emphasis of this offense. And I think that Coach Calipari knows that with DJ and Darius, two very similar-looking players, very similar in how they play, that both of those guys are going to be trying to set the tone by driving the basketball, whether that's driving to lob it to Trevin or Nick Pringle for a dunk or driving it to kick it out to Malik Thomas or Carter Knox to knock down a three-pointer. So I think everything in this offense is going to start with those guards, and they're the ones that's going to dictate everything. Carter, he could be the best all-around player for the team. But DJ, Darius, those guys driving the basketball, that's going to be, to me, that's going to be the number one very beginning of every offensive set is those guys getting the ball and seeing if they can attack.
Coach, I think it was last Wednesday, right, when the SEC schedule came out. It was the day after you were on the show, and I was like, dang, we missed out on that. What were your thoughts on the schedule?
I thought it was a pretty good schedule. None of them are easy, but I always like our schedule. I think we have a little bit of a pretty good setup with some of the people that we play twice. For a long time it was A&M and LSU and Missouri. Now we've lost A&M. Last year it was Texas twice instead of A&M twice, which is good for us. We beat them twice. But now it's Auburn, and that'll be good rankings-wise. Auburn's going to always be good. They lost their whole team other than Pettiford. There was a freshman guard last year. They lost everyone else. So it's kind of a reload, recharge for Auburn. But we get Missouri twice. We'll take it. Won't be easy, but we'll take our chances. LSU, no offense to anybody, we usually blow them out at home, and we've been losing to them there. And that's been the case really for the last 5 or 6 years. And LSU, there's been years they've gone like 1-17. Their win was against us. 2-16. One of their wins was against us. 3-15. One of their wins was against us. So surely, hopefully, we can get over the LSU hump down there. But I think it's a good schedule, Wes. We got to go to Ole Miss and Mississippi State. Those will be hard games. But we've got some really good home games. Obviously, Kentucky will be big. You get Texas A&M here at home. They're going through a full rebuild. They lost everyone. Bucky McMillan's in his first year as the coach there. Came from Samford University. They call it Bucky Ball. So there's a lot of teams in our league that lost a lot. And there's teams in our league, I would say out of the 16, Wes, I think probably about 12 of the 16 lost more players than we lost. Because we have four of our top guys back. 4 of our top 8 guys are back. So that's pretty good. Mm-hmm. But I do think the schedule lines up for us pretty well. When you look at the other teams in our league schedule, there's definitely some of them you're like, that is hard. And ours won't be easy. But I do think that we've got some good people at home that'll have a chance, and then you got to handle those tough road games at Auburn with a new team, at Florida, a pretty new team. Boogie Fland will be down there. They got a couple of their bigs back, but they lost all of their guard play. So it's going to be really interesting. I think we've got a pretty decent schedule to have success in the league. And, Wes, it could be a chance that on Tuesdays we're talking a lot about competing for the SEC, because I know he wants to. And coached against him a long time. He liked winning conference championships at Kentucky. Was in the league with him when we were at UAB and he was at Memphis. He liked trying to win the league all the time down there. This past year, he never got to talk about it because we were just getting the brakes beat off of us the first 6 games. It was just a struggle. So we never got in the hunt for the conference championship. But I think you'll see a Cal that you get maybe about halfway through it, his juices are really going to be flowing, and he's going to want to win another SEC title. There's no question about that to me, that's going to be in his range of what he's wanting to do with this team. I know he would love to celebrate. He hadn't won one since the COVID year, 19-20. Kentucky won the league that year, and they had a good team, and they hadn't won it in the 5 years since. So I know he's a high-level coach. He likes winning conference championships.
Is the schedule set now with 2 permanents and a rotator, or is that something that continues to change?
Well, it definitely changes, because I remember when Missouri and A&M came in, the league said, hey, we're going to give you 3 permanents, and we want to do this for as long as we can. And they stuck to that for, 10, 11 years until we added OU in Texas. Really, I guess 12 years they stuck to that. But now it's hard to guarantee. But they do like, kind of like with football, there are certain games they want to see happen every year. There's certain games they want to see happen twice a year in basketball. And so that's going to continue. Kentucky versus Tennessee, the Kentucky Floridas, some of those type of games that are Alabama, Auburn. They're going to be twice a year. Texas A&M. Those are going to be twice every year. And for us to get, to me, no disrespect. I coached at Missouri. I'm not disrespecting them, but I think anybody would say, hey, we'll take our chances with Mizzou and LSU twice every year. No offense. I mean, it could be Florida and Auburn. It could be Alabama and Tennessee. So nothing against Missouri and LSU, but you take your chances with those 2 every year, and then Auburn is a good opponent, but I think we may be catching them at a decent time with them losing 8 of their top 10 guys.
Coach, does everybody in the SEC get 5 Saturday home games? Do they try to work that out? Yeah,
we may have talked about this on here before. Stop me if we have, but I was here. This is true as can be. Way back in the 2014, 15, 16. I remember Moses, maybe up to 17. Moses Kingsley was going to be a senior, and every year we kept getting 4 Saturdays. Back then, you played 18 games. There was no challenge. There was, the way it was set up, there was 9 Saturdays. Well, in Moses Kingsley's career, 4 years he played for the Razorbacks. He only played 16 Saturday home games. 4 years times 4 Saturdays. I was seething mad every year about it, and we couldn't get anything changed. There was a coach at Vanderbilt I got visiting with on the road one time, Kevin Stallings.
Yeah.
And he was always fighting for what he always thought he had to fight the Kentuckys and the Tennessees, and he really liked Mike Anderson, and he was good to us. And I was telling him that. He said, what? And I told him, every team in our leagues in the last 4 years has had more Saturday games, which matters. Bud Walton, it doesn't matter that much, really. But across our league, there's a huge difference playing Ole Miss on a Wednesday or Tuesday when they might have 6,000, and on Saturday when it might be sold out. LSU's the same way. Auburn used to be that way. Now they're full all the time. But there's places in the league, you go on a midweek, there's not a very big crowd, LSU. But on Saturday, they can fill it up. And so it's a fairness issue. But to answer your question now, everybody gets 5 Saturdays. But we took that challenge out of the schedule during the conference season. So now and everybody gets a bye. We didn't have byes back then. So there was nowhere to maneuver these Saturdays. Now there's the bye week, and there's no challenge game in the middle of the conference season anymore. So now you can make it to where there's 10 Saturdays across an SEC schedule. You play 5 at home, 5 on the road. But back to that story, I had all the numbers, and the only other team that had played as little Saturday home games as we had was Vanderbilt. Am I crying? Yeah, I mean, that was just something that we dealt with. It wasn't the end-all, be-all, but it was a fact. And people like Kentucky, and they had 3 or 4 more home games on Saturdays than we did over a 4-year period. And I got that document to Kevin Stallings, and he went to work in the league because he was the least amount of Saturday home games, just like he was tied with us. And he got that changed. Kevin Stallings got that changed with some help of some other coaches, and they voted that in. And what the rule became was, if you get 5 Saturday home games this year, Next year you get 4 Saturday home games, and they rotated that every year. And they did that from about 2016, 2017 till 2024. I was really proud of that. Everyone got equal amount of Saturday home games over a 2-year period. I thought that was great. And now you don't even have to worry about it because everyone gets 5 Saturday home games.
When does the full schedule usually come out?
That's a good question. Last year, if you go back, we didn't release our non-conference schedule till October 10th. It was really late, and most of it was attributed to the previous staff that usually did pretty good schedules, but they did them they did most of it May, June, July, and Coach Muss would usually get his released in September. He actually got his released one year around October 1st. But when Coach Calipari and them got here, there really wasn't much scheduled at all, like virtually nothing. And so you have to do 13 non-conference games. You got to do contracts. A lot of stuff, has to be done paperwork-wise, not just negotiations and phone calls. And it was October 10th. We were getting ready to play Kansas. Of course, a lot of those games were already released individually. Like Kansas was released way individually for the exhibition game. But it was October 10th last year. I just looked it up the other day. I would say it'll be in August or, hopefully late of this month that we'll be able to release those. The media and the public knows probably 8 or 9 of our 13 games already, but there's still 3 or 4 that we're not sure about and the date. So hopefully that gets done here in August. We'll live with it if it gets done in September. Hopefully it's not October 10th again. That was a little bit late.
You hear anything exciting about some of the games they're still trying to finalize?
No, it's some different stuff. I'll be anxious to see the amount of bye games.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, out of those 13 games, we bought 9, and that was a lot. And that kind of affected attendance a little bit because there was a lot of bye games, and we didn't have any high majors at home. And so, we went to Miami. We played the game in Dallas, played the game in Kansas City. We played the great game in New York against Michigan. So we played 4 high majors. We bought 9. That's 13 games, which is the max you're allowed to play. Hopefully we're at about 7 bye games or even 6. And that way you can kind of improve your overall schedule. We already know we're getting the challenge at home. So the year before that, we had Duke at home. And if you don't do home-and-home series, there's going to be every other year you're not going to have a good opponent at home. And Muss didn't believe in home-and-home series, didn't schedule one. And Cal didn't do one last year. But I love the fact this year Coach said, I'm going to do a home-and-home series. Thank you. I love that. And he did Michigan State, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so as long as that all works out, we go there. But next year we're not going to have the challenge providing us with a good non-conference game. The challenge is not going to provide us with Duke next year. It's not going to provide us with Louisville next year. But we're going to have a great opponent already coming in. That's huge. And that helps your schedule. That helps your fans. That helps with people wanting to be here. So hopefully it's 6 or 7, bye games, and then some really good non-conference games like the Texas Tech game will be big. Obviously, we just talked about Michigan State, going to the Northeast to play and playing a big opponent up there. The Duke game, obviously big on a neutral site at Thanksgiving. You start adding that up, you get a really good basketball schedule.
Mm-hmm. Coach, great stuff as always. Good stories, man. We appreciate you sharing that with us. I hope you have a great week, and we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good, guys. Take care.
Matt Zimmerman with us on Out of Bounds. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're talking high school football. Brian Maupin, the head coach of the Maumelle Hornets. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse presents Match Game on Morning Mayhem. Listen for your chance to play their version of the classic TV game show. Brought to you by Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse, Arkansas's truck accessory headquarters for over 30 years. Call 501-568-0040 today or click online at arkansastruck.com.
This is SportsCenter.
There's roughly 1 month left in the Texas League regular season, and the Arkansas Travelers have some work to do if they want to claim a playoff spot. The Travs are 2 games behind the Tulsa Drillers for that playoff spot as they start a series tonight against the Northwest Arkansas Naturals in Springdale. Arkansas will throw left-hander Reed Van Scoter, who's 4-3 with a 4.73 ERA. Northwest Arkansas counters with left-hander Hunter Owen, who's also 4-3 but has a 3.79 ERA. First pitch from Arvest Ballpark is scheduled for 7:05. That means Stephen Davis will have the Visit Hot Springs pregame show at 6:50 on our sister station 106.7 Buzz 2. I'm Todd Pierce for the Buzz Radio Network.
What drives you? Family moments, new adventures, or just the love of the open road? Whatever it is, Gwatney Chevrolet is here to help you get there. For generations, we've been more than a dealership. We've been part of life's milestones, big and small. With a team that puts you first and a car buying experience that's easy and stress-free, we're here to find the perfect vehicle for what drives you. Visit us in Jacksonville or online at GwatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. Restaurateur extraordinaire Keith McNally's memoir, I Regret Almost Everything, is a fascinating look at a success in an incredibly difficult medium. His beloved restaurant Odeon, which now belongs to his ex-wife, was his favorite because it was a place for, quote, T-shirts and tuxedos. For everyone, in other words. What a marvelous goal. To be a place where all are welcomed and appreciated. That's what we've been striving for at the Pinnacle Church of Christ. Stop by and register at your nearest Doublebee's for your chance to win a new Bad Boy 550 four-wheel drive side-by-side, purchased from the Bad Boy Superstore in Searcy. This Bad Boy Wonder vehicle will be given away on a special broadcast of Drive Time Sports on October the 8th. You do not have to be present to win. Doublebee's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebee's.
It's Justin Aker with Lorbeth from Kaufman by Design West and Lorbeth. I'm so excited about the upcoming months. We've got great holidays upon us, and at Kaufman by Design West, you have everything to get folks outside and celebrating.
We have grilling season coming up, so we've got big green eggs and tons of accessories, and then it's also outdoor season. So we've got lots of in-stock steel products, toolkits, coolers, travel cases.
And for those who want to do some home improvement, we've got power tools galore. You can find it all at Kaufman by Design West, 14900 Cantor Road, out west past Taylor Loop. They're also online at kaufmanlumber.com. It's Justin Aker for CertaPro Painters, and it is summertime. If you're looking for a project to be done at your house, then get them on board now. You can sign up for your free estimate, and you can get your project scheduled as well at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. I've had painters work in the past, and you don't get the kind of experience you get with CertaPro, where they're going to clean up after themselves, leave you with a great paint job, and they're going to do it all at an affordable price. For your home, for your business, CertaPro is the answer. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. So get them on your project now, again, at CertaPro.com.
Fun Tuesday edition of Morning Mayhem is in the books. Want to thank Rick Schaefer, John Daly, Chuck Gatlin for all joining the show. Also want to thank you guys out there for tuning into the program. The guys are back on Wednesday live from El Dorado at the Haywood, part of the Tapestry collection of hotels. We'll have a good day out there on a hump day. Coming up 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on 103.7 The Buzz, it's Morning Mayhem.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio.
Got some big things going on at Bet Saracen right now. Today is Tuesday. They have their Major League Baseball Triple Play Tuesday. You opt in on the promotion page to activate this promotion. Then you need to place a $25 or more real cash wager on a 3-leg parlay that has odds of plus 400 or longer. Win or lose, you still get a $10 free bet. $25, get 10, so it's like making a $15 bet. And you might win, and you still get the $10 in free play. They got the BMW Championship protection going on this week in the golf tournament. Go in, opt in. Got to opt in on all these things. Remember, that's the number one most important thing. Always go to the promotions page. Got free money there for you. Check it out. BMW Championship, pick a winner in the futures bet. Look, if he doesn't win, but he finishes in the top 10, you get 50% of your money back. It's a good bonus right there. Several good deals at Bet Saracen right now. They got the NFL Championship Protection Bet, the SEC Championship Protection Bet. Check them out, Bet Saracen. Sign up now. Get ready for the fall. Best app in Arkansas. Let's talk a little high school football now. Brian Maupin, head coach of the Maumelle Hornets, joins us. What's up, Coach? How are you?
What's going on, fellas? Not much. Pretty good.
How are you? How's the summer treating you?
I'm pretty good. It was good, man. A lot of golf. Got better, broke 80 a couple times, so that's a pretty big milestone for me. So, had a good time, and, my kids are getting bigger, so getting to spend more and more time with them is an exciting thing.
Well, you've worked on your game. Not saying your game was bad, but be breaking 80.
Thank you.
That's good.
From where I came from, it's big strides.
Yeah, it's significant. I will give you that. This is year 3 at Maumelle for you?
This will be my 4th season.
Oh, my gosh. Time is flying.
Yes, sir.
I can't believe. How is Brian Maupin going into year 4 different from Brian Maupin 4 years ago?
I kind of got to credit Coach Scola on this. It used to drive me absolutely nuts when I worked for him. But, man, he never really seemed to sweat the small stuff, and it used to drive me crazy. And one of the biggest things that I've just kind of learned is, don't sweat the small stuff and don't worry about it. And, the things that we can't control, we don't worry about it. And we just kind of trust the process and take it day by day, love on these kids, coach them up as hard as we can, and try to be better every day. And I would say that at this point, I don't get so up and down and upset or obsessed over the little things like I used to when I was a younger coach.
Coach, you mentioned your kids getting bigger, and you can get engulfed in football, but with your kids getting older, do they play any other sports outside of football?
Here, which is really good. We did a lot of track meets with Cedric Vaughn, who does such a great job with track and field in the state of Arkansas, and they competed in quite a few meets, and they ran AAU and athletics.net, and they showed out. They did pretty good. My son Trey won most of his events, and Junior won high jump and long jump every time. And my daughter Taylor, she finished in the top 3 in all of her events every time. So it was exciting to see them run track this spring. But we're full on football season now. So my 2 boys play. My daughter still trains for track, but they play. They got practice tonight. After we're done up here, I'll take them to their practice.
I saw a cool thing. One of the NFL coaches today, or maybe it was a college coach, I can't remember who it was. I saw it on Twitter, but he delayed practice today so all of his coaches could take their kids to school for the first day of school. I'm also watching Any Given Saturday on Netflix, and you get to see the head coaches, a lot of them that have kids, and how they balance that. How do you balance it?
Mom, she's at the point in her life where she's able to pick the kids up from school every day for me. She brings them straight to the field house, and, they just jump right into practice with me. I tell them they have to eat and do their homework first, but as soon as those 2 things are done, they're on the field right next to me trying to run a drill or participate. If it's indo and it's footwork and stuff, they'll try to participate. And so getting to spend the evenings with my children every day while still giving everything I have to this community and this team is really a special opportunity. I don't think there's another profession out there like it, and it's just a special thing that I know I'm really blessed to be able to get that time with them because I'll never get it back. I tell the boys all the time, like I'm missing my kids' childhood. For you guys, it means something to me, but part of that's a lie because I just bring my kids' childhood with me.
How's it been at this time as school is starting and you're making these final preparations for the season to get kicked off? What's this time like right now?
Today we're doing picture day. Everybody gets nice and pretty for the first day of school, and so I try to capitalize on that and get picture day knocked out while everybody still feels like they got the best haircut and all that kind of stuff going on. So we'll knock out picture day today, which we'll start out with a lift and some special teams meeting and stuff like that. But we'll knock out pictures today, and then so our first 3 games are on Thursday night this year, and which is such a rare deal. So I told them starting Wednesday, we're starting normal game week prep. And so for us, we'll start Wednesday kind of prepping for meals, not as necessarily schematically because it's a benefit game, but just kind of getting in that rhythm of, getting your work done early in the week and then fine-tune polishing, getting ready to travel on Thursday because the very next week we're the Fox 16 game of the week and we're playing Sylvan Hills on that next Thursday. And so just trying to get in that rhythm of, class all day and then getting the work done and then kind of that heavy work day back-to-back and then kind of just polishing for game day and prepping in that. So really just kind of train their bodies to get ready for what is a, 13, 14-week grind of that kind of regimen.
Who's your third Thursday against?
Parkview.
So that's at War Memorial.
Parkview Catholic has War Memorial on Friday. Okay. And so, we play Park. So we literally opened the season with a benefit game on the 21st and 28th against Sylvan Hills and the 4th against Parkview. So my kids want to know what Friday night lights. They'll be like, we mean Thursday night lights, Coach? So, they've called me out a couple times. I'm like, Friday nights come. They was like, you mean Thursday night? But it's all the same. Well, and then we close the season with Joe T on a Thursday night. So we're playing 4 of our 11 games on Thursday this year.
So how does that work on a Friday? How is that different from you than a normal Friday night when you're coming back into the office on a Saturday? How do you treat a Friday?
Well, going to class Friday morning is one stark difference. So, waking up and trying not to short my health classes and bring a great lesson Friday mornings, that's the first thing. But for the most part, I like it because we try to do a really good job of putting Friday night's game to bed that weekend. And so playing on a Thursday allows us to do a really good film session that Friday while we're also rehabbing and doing what we need to do to get our bodies right physically. But it allows us to kind of watch film from Thursday night's game on Friday, do our rehab stuff, and then give them Saturdays to be their own. And we can start actually prepping for the next week on Sunday afternoons. We bring them in for 2 hours, and that just kind of accelerates everything. And then having your last regular season game on a Thursday is just, at that point in the season, any extra day of rest you can get going into the playoffs is always a blessing. And then it gives us coaches a chance to get out and kind of scout, whether we're matched up with the South or the West, get out and see teams that we wouldn't normally see in person. Because you can watch all the film in the world, but there's some things you just can't gather without being in the stadium, hearing the cadence, just kind of seeing the way they move and the way they look.
It is a luxury when you get past the Parkview game. You do have that extra day built in. And then, as you mentioned, at the end of the schedule, it gives you some relief there where you play a Thursday game. You also have an extra day before you get to playoffs. So it's
sure.
built greatly. At the beginning, you get used to it, and then you get that extra day at the end of the schedule.
100%. Stuff in the middle of it, like 2 Fridays and then a Thursday and then 3 more Fridays, and it would be a hot mess. But the way it worked out, I'm in charge of scheduling, but I could give God all the credit on that one because he worked it out, not me.
Brian Maupin with us, head coach of the Maumelle Hornets. Let's talk about your team. What do you know you have right now?
Absolutely love our backfield right now. We have 4 backs that I trust completely, guys that have gotten a lot of snaps. I mean, 2 years ago, Bubba Johnson was probably the best player in the feeder pattern, and he's just a guy that we can count on. He was a huge part of that 7-minute drive to run out the clock against Greenbrier. Jacob Henry, who I think may be the best player in the state, and then a guy, Marshawn Wiley, who may be the most explosive player. And so it's just really an interesting group that brings different things. And then we got a guy named Mohammed Qutov, he was the Fearless Friday play of the week against Whitehall last year. Took 160-some yards to the house. And so it's just a lot of experience. It's 4 seniors, which is super unique for the same position group. And it's just guys that we're going to lean on. And me and Coach Bertram's job is just making sure that they all get enough to eat every Friday or Thursday.
How much you get these running backs involved in the pass game?
It's going to be a big part of what we do this year. They all do a really good job of catching the ball. I think high school football in general, that's kind of a guy and an aspect that you can take advantage of. Everything is kind of cookie cutter until you start involving that back. And now you're putting linebackers and guys that aren't used to covering in situations that they're not necessarily comfortable with. Most of the time you see guys that play linebacker in high school, they're kind of, built like me, where they're kind of just thumpers and you'd rather just play in the A-gap. So anytime we can get those big, strong guys in space, with these kind of athletes, I think it gives us a good opportunity. So, yes, definitely trying to manufacture some touches to get them the ball in other ways would be very helpful for us.
Got Brian Maupin with us, Maumelle Hornets. I know you love defense. What do you think of your defense?
Man, it's really fast, really physical, got a lot of length. You know, I think about a guy like Jordan Harris at the end, and that's just something rare, something I will say I coached some very good rush ends and D ends in my time at Joe T and even here at Maumelle. But he's as special physically as anybody I've coached. You know, I mean, a legit 6'7", a legit 230 pounds, a legit 4'6". Like, you just don't find those on every field on Friday nights. And yeah, I found him on a basketball court. So that just tells you how rare it is. And so I think he brings a lot of versatility. Like I said, Jacob Henry's one of those guys that can move all over the secondary. Does a really good job. I love our corner group right now. We got a guy in Caden Brooks who's been there for 3 years. Even started some games as a ninth grader on the varsity. Our senior linebacker, Jonathan Williams, is a guy who's been starting games since he was a ninth grader on varsity. So it's kind of those guys that took their lumps. This is a special group for me because it's the first group that I've had 9 through 12. And we moved quite a few of those guys up at the end of the year, my first year here. And that's paying big dividends right now. You think about guys like Bubba Johnson and Caden Brooks and Jonathan Williams, who got a lot of tough knowledge on them as ninth graders on Friday nights. Well, it's paying off now. Those guys are very well versed. They know the way I like things done, and they know the way to execute it.
You have some newcomers to the school this year that are playing football?
We've got a couple guys. Obviously, not the influx everybody was so infatuated with last year. But yeah, there's a corner named Carson Brister who he's gonna do some really good things. He's very unique in that he's about 6'2", 190 pounds, 180 pounds. Just brings a lot of length and versatility to that corner position. And really, the other newcomers we got an unbelievable ninth grade class this year. And, our backup quarterback will be a ninth grader. He'll start on the freshman team. I pray I never have to play him on a Friday night. But he'll dress every Friday as he's the most capable backup. And then actually Levi, our starting quarterback, his little brother, Isaac Warrior, will start at wide receiver for us as a ninth grader. He's just a part of a really special group, and he's kind of Friday night ready. So my belief system is if they can start or affect Friday nights, then that's my job to put them in a position to affect Friday nights and get on that field. So that's really where the newcomers and the excitement comes from that aspect.
Is your conference loaded as always?
Yeah, it's just tough, man. You look at there's just going to be good teams that don't make the playoffs, which is crazy. And great communities, you think about school in a place like Pine Bluff going from conference champs to not making the playoffs, and that's just a crazy thought to think that a team that was a semifinal team and a conference champion the year before, and they couldn't get into the Final Four last year, and obviously we know about the tradition at Whitehall and Searcy and obviously, Jacksonville's got a lot of buzz and a lot of momentum right now. And, it's just, there's a lot of teams fighting for those last couple playoff spots, and somebody's going to be left, without a date on the dance floor. And so, it's one of those things. I think everybody says that their conference is the SEC and this and that. I just feel like in this conference you got to bring it every week, and even a team that's been down like a Watson Chapel, they've got the kind of athletes that if you're not paying attention or you're not prepared, they can burn you. And so, we just try to focus week to week. I think it keeps us from getting into a mid-season lull or any kind of relaxation mode. I think a big part of us beating Greenbrier last year was winning 5 straight conference games in such a tough conference, knowing that, it's always playoff mode in the 5A Central.
Well, y'all had a hiccup last year. Do you feel like the team learned from that?
Big time, man. We use that as such a teaching opportunity, and that is zero disrespect to BB, that team, that school, that community. Hats off to their coaching staff and those kids. They played hard that night, and I pretty much just put the tape on and said, hey, you tell me, watching this, did you or that child from BB want to make this play more? And we had to face the music of that, and I think maybe we'd read some press clippings and got to feeling good about ourselves, or got to feeling bad about ourselves after the way we performed in the third and fourth quarter against Parkview. And we had to make a real decision. And I think winning a close Pine Bluff game that next week was really kind of the turning point for us, and it sparked a 5-game winning streak that really kind of set the tone for us to be able to compete for a conference championship and win a playoff game for the first time in 10 years here.
Who is the team to beat in your conference, in your opinion?
Yeah, I would say it's got to be Joe T right now. I mean, what they're doing over there, obviously I got much love for Coach Upthegrove. That's my guy, man. It wasn't too long ago we were painting the floors and sanding the All-State wall and trying to put lipstick on a pig over there together to make that place as great as it can be. And he's putting a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that program. And as an alumni, I can't think of anybody better to kind of take over and run that show than him. And, we team camp with them. They got a lot of athletes. They're really talented. And I'd love to say, like, hey, it's Maumelle, it's us, but we're going to have to beat them before we start talking about it. And so for us, it's, I'm not going to say we're just waiting on week 10. There's plenty of great games before that. But for us, we know if we want to be the conference championships, you got to beat the reigning conference champion. So, and they have just as good an opportunity to win the conference championship as they ever had. It's our job to present that unique challenge week 10.
Yeah, it's up to you to make that the game of the week. Or
that's exactly right.
Or maybe a game where you're like, we got to win just to go to the playoffs. It's up to you what you do until then. Hey, before I let you go, I got to ask, any update on Marion Harris? How's he doing? How's camp going?
He's doing great, man. I think he's in best shape of his life. He's finally started to put some muscle back on. I know he's feeling really good. I know he's really excited about the team. We talk pretty frequently, man. That's my guy. I'm so proud of him. Just as far as guys that I've coached, man, I can't think of a guy more. I'm really ready for him to be done playing so he can come work for me like the rest of the guys I coach. I got about 5 of them on my staff now that played for me. So, it's exciting to see those guys. But, man, he feels good about the team. He's excited about the offense, and I think he's really going to step into his own this year.
Great stuff, Mop. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it. We'll be keeping an eye on you, and I know we'll talk to you during the football season. Thank you.
I'll be blessed. Appreciate it, fellas.
Brian Maupin joining us, head coach of the Maumelle Hornets. We got to run. When we come back, we'll wrap up the second hour. I'll check the D3 Auto Sales text line. You can give us a call, 661-1037. This is Out of Bounds.
We all have that nagging pain. For me, it was in my back, and I thought it would go away if I kept running. If I really worked on my core strength, it might dissipate. Well, guess what? That's not always the case. Hey, everybody, Josh Neighbors here for QC Kinetics. If you have that continued pain, you should schedule your free consultation today with the medical professionals at QC Kinetics. They've turned around thousands of lives with their regenerative treatments that work with your body to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. And these are natural therapies, so we're not heading to the pharmacy all the time. We're not going back to the doctor after surgery all the time. And the best news is you can bring your x-rays and MRI to QC Kinetics. It's a no-pressure chat and a thorough evaluation that could change your life. So stop living with that day-to-day joint and muscle pain. So grab the phone right now, give them a call, 501-214-5880. Ask about that free consultation at 501-214-5880. Once again, 501-214-5880.
Hey, it's David Basil from my good friends at Bath Fitter. I've been working with Bath Fitter for over a decade now. They're a family-owned business that's been around for over 40 years. They are the pioneers of the acrylic bath industry. Bath Fitter offers a one-of-a-kind remodeling process that's easy and stress-free. They offer a wide selection of beautiful and functional showers, and with their seamless one-piece walls and hundreds of design options, you can refresh your shower space in no time. They can even convert your existing bath into a shower. Check them out online at bathfitterlittlerock.com and tell them Basil sent you.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Shelter Agent Hayden Strickland in Sherwood, Vic Seidenschwartz in Carlisle, or Todd Matthews in Benton today.
More fiber and laxatives, eh? Who are you? I'm future you. Future me? Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Our doctor figured it out. It's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Hey, this is Mitch at Red River Ram Dodge Chrysler and Jeep. You know, I saw an ad the other day and I thought, no wonder people don't trust car dealers. I looked up the discount they were offering that was $20,000 off, only to find out they put a $12,000 to $15,000 lift kit on this truck, marked it up $38,000, and then said they're taking $20,000 off. Make that make sense in somebody's head. Folks, come check us out. RedRiverRam.com. See why we're Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer, or make that beautiful drive right here to Heber Springs.
Roger Scott here, and I don't have to tell you it's hot outside, do I? You can figure that out for yourself when you touch your steering wheel in the afternoon. But if you're looking to beat the heat, make your next stop Family Market Stores. With your Family Market Rewards card, you get 5 cents off a gallon when you grab a large fountain drink, tea, or lemonade, or 5 cents off with a large community coffee in the morning. Save inside, save outside. Family Market Stores in Pangburn, Malvern, Shannon Hills, Mayflower, and Hot Springs. And if there's not a Family Market Store in your neighborhood yet, you just wait. One's coming.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Gwatney Chevrolet. Driving, trust every mile.
All right, let's wrap up our second hour. Wes Moore and Joe Franklin with you. We'll finish up on the D3 Auto Sales text line. 501 writes in, says, Wes, speaking of Joe T. Robinson, I'm looking forward to a great game with Robinson at Hot Springs Lakeside in Week 3 on Friday, September 12th. That will be an outstanding game then. I mean, Robinson, we've heard, Joe, you and I have talked to several coaches, talk about team camps, teams that have impressed them. Joe T. Robinson at the 5A level, several coaches have pointed out the talent that they have. I think that they play PA in the first game, 0 week. That's going to be a fun game.
Oh, it will be. And Robinson, they continue to just restock that roster with talent year in, year out.
Lakeside's doing the same thing too. Coach Rock down there is doing a fantastic job. That's a good game. 501 writes in and says, when the players take control of the team, you have a chance to be very successful. Yeah, that's why I told the story. And look, I left out the player's name that was getting punished because to me that's not the story. Yeah, you don't want to see a player late for a meeting, but when you have his teammates, his friends holding him accountable and then making him do the punishment, highly encouraging him, you will do this punishment because you were late. I think that speaks a lot about some of these leaders on the team, and what I was told, it was Mike Washington and Monte Harrison. So I was like, I think that's news to be shared because that is a good sign.
Oh, it's a great sign. And coaches, they can dole out punishment, but whenever a player speaks, then it seems to carry more weight because that's somebody that their peers – and they're working together to make it a better team overall. And so when it comes from a player, that does show that these players, they want to work together. They want to be great together.
501 asks, Wes, why do they close practices and scrimmages off like they're doing? I think it's kudos to Kevin Trey and all the others that have to write about Razorback football without actually seeing the practices. I think, one, they want to protect some of the players. You know, maybe they're struggling, and so there's not a bunch of stories out there about this so-and-so is really having a hard time in fall camp. I'm sure some of it is the coaches are protective about some of the things they're trying to implement. whether it's offensive or defensive.
Injuries
new
are
wrinkles.
always big, too. They don't want those getting out.
Well, and they've told us if something happens in those first 4 periods while you're there, you can't report on injuries. Hour 3's next.
Fried green tomato salad is back and better than ever at Eat My Catfish. It'll only be here for a limited time, so stop by or order online from any of our 7 Eat My Catfish locations to try this delicious fan favorite today. Eat fresh, eat local, Eat My Catfish.
Come check out the latest in large-scale logging equipment, attachments, supplies, technology, and services at the Southwest Forest Products Expo August 22nd through the 23rd at the Hot Springs Convention Center. Watch the Timberworks Lumberjack Show. See chainsaw sculptures by Artistry in Wood. Visit the online video arcade. It's fun for the whole family. Visit arcloggers.com for schedule, info, training, workshops, and links to the online ticket hub. That's arcloggers.com. 2-day pass for those 16 and older is $10. Kids under 16 free. See you in Hot Springs at the Southwest Forest Products Expo.
It's hot outside in Arkansas, but you can cool off in style at Hubbard Power Sports, Can-Am, and Sea-Doo of Russellville. Whether you're racing across the waves or just soaking up the sun, we've got the latest and greatest Sea-Doo personal watercraft and Sea-Doo switch pontoons to turn up the fun and beat the heat. Come in today to check out our awesome deals, take advantage of rates as low as 0% on select models, and get the perfect ride for the rest of your summer adventures. Fast, friendly service, and a whole lot of splash. Come see us in Russellville or at hubbardpowersports.com.
In Columbia County, the Sheriff's Office is setting the record straight about rumors of a missing teacher. Deputies say whispers about a recent break in the decades-old case of missing Magnolia art teacher Bobo Shin are hindering the investigation. The Sheriff's Office, FBI, and State Police searched for Shin near the Bussey-Sharman area last week. While they say something was found, they did not recover a body or get a deathbed confession from a Columbia County man. The sheriff says investigators will track down every lead they get in this case. Former Arkansas State Senator and UCA President Lou Hardin has passed away. Hardin served in the state Senate from 1983 to 1996 before the then governor appointed him to lead the State Department of Higher Education in 97. Hardin's service as UCA president from 2002 to 2008 helped elevate the school's status. He is the father of former KRK anchor Mallory Hardin Brooks and the Department of Finance and Administration Director of Communications Scott Hardin. He was 73 years old. I'm Sincere Tonsel from KRK4 Today for the Buzz Radio Network.
This is Trey Schapp. Tune in each Friday morning at 5:30 right here on The Buzz as I bring you From the Shortgrass, presented by UAMS Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine. If you like to hear interesting stories about the game of golf, this is for you. You can also find it wherever you get your podcasts.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Juliana Cullen.
We'll have a mix of sun and clouds throughout the rest of your Tuesday with high temperatures warming into the mid-90s. Feels like temperatures could be in the upper 90s, though, with a few scattered showers and storms possible this afternoon. It's about a 20% chance for rain throughout the rest of the day. This is meteorologist Juliana Cullen with the Arkansas Storm Team for the Buzz Radio Network.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please, turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Joe Nichols joins Morning Mayhem each week, presented by Bath Fitters. Get the tub or shower you deserve with no gimmicks, just real savings. Check them out at bathfitterlittlerock.com.
What drives you? Family moments, new adventures, or just the love of the open road? Whatever it is, Gwatney Chevrolet is here to help you get there. For generations, we've been more than a dealership. We've been part of life's milestones, big and small. With a team that puts you first and a car buying experience that's easy and stress-free, we're here to find the perfect vehicle for what drives you. Visit us in Jacksonville or online at GwatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
More fiber and laxatives, eh?
Who are you?
I'm future you. Future me? Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Our doctor figured it out. It's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Welcome to Moe's. Everywhere you look, prices are going up, but not at Moe's Southwest Grill. Here, the best deal in burritos just got better. We lowered the prices on our Mo Monday special. The burritos and bowls you love are now starting at $6.99. Hot and delicious, made your way with high-quality ingredients. We never cut corners. Guess that's why our bowls are round. Come see us this Monday. And here's my daughter, Andy Kate, with a reminder.
Remember, kids eat free on Sundays. Welcome to Moe's.
HJ Trailer Sales has you covered, whether you need a trailer, truck bed, or expert repair. Our expert team is ready to help. HJ Trailer Sales is your one-stop shop for it all. If you want a one-stop shop for all your marketing needs, you need 1037 The Buzz. We receive several phone calls a week from people who say that they heard about us on The Buzz. I've worked with their experienced team for many years. Call Sabrina Woodall at 501-650-4971.
Your fantasy draft is here. The Smack Talk is starting, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
We're brought to you today by GNC. Hope I'm not interrupting your workout routine, but the GNC Live Well sale is going on right now. Buy one, get one, 50% off everything in the store and at GNC.com. That's right, everything. Protein, pre-workout, creatine, vitamins, supplements, and so much more. Go for it all and don't miss out. At GNC, nutrition isn't just the department, it's the whole freaking store. You got goals, GNC has results. Visit your local GNC store or go to GNC.com.
I don't know. Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz.
My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note. It's levels to it.
What's Trending in Sports is brought to you by Arkansas's own West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock Coffee, the Razorbacks, and their 1.5 million farmers around the globe. It's fall, so now it's time for your team to stock up on coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA today.
Oh, it's fun to be able to talk a little NFL, isn't it? All these camps going on.
Oh, yeah, always.
Am I right? There's not a Thursday night game this week? Doesn't start back up until, well, I don't have to ask. I can just pull up the NFL schedule. Week 2. Yeah, Friday night's the first game. Doubleheader on the NFL Network. Titans, Falcons, Chiefs, Seahawks. 6 o'clock start, 9 o'clock start. So 2 games. I liked having Thursday night games.
Yeah. The more football we can have, the better.
Yeah.
But It's about to all get kicked off here soon. Won't have to worry about it being many days without.
All right, we'll start with Baker Mayfield. You got the Bucs playing your Steelers Saturday night.
Looking forward to another preseason showing.
The what's the Tampa Bay, the wide receiver they drafted, the big kid. Oh gosh, it was the one I was thinking the Cowboys might draft. Big guy, Arizona.
No. Panthers drafted him.
Arizona State. Anyway,
yeah, I'm drawing a blank.
He had a couple big catches in the preseason. I saw one of the national NFL analysts saying this dude's going to be a problem. Watch out. And I'm like, all right, Tampa, Baker Mayfield's got another weapon. Here's Baker Mayfield talking about his time in Tampa.
It's felt like home since I stepped foot in here, but 2023, it's a similar system to what we've been in the last two. But yeah, for me, having the same system, same guys, that's really important. So the chemistry, the communication, if you, as a skill group and protection-wise, if they know what I'm going to get to, what I'm going to check to, really before I do it, and that's a part of the game prep week, is like, hey, if we get this look, I'm going to get to this. So when they see it, they know I'm already going to get to it. And when you get all 11 on the same page, that's where the confidence comes.
Bucs drafted Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State.
That's it. Yep. Yeah, the couple of catches, or one catch for 21 yards in the opener. Who's this cat? Ryan Miller. Is that the Ryan Miller, Oklahoma? He had 6 catches.
I think he's a tight end, maybe.
All right, let's look at.
Oh, they have him listed as a receiver.
Yeah. Jackson, Tennessee, out of Furman. Okay, it's not who I was thinking of at all. Anyway, he had a big preseason game. Let's move to Atlanta now. The Falcons. Their second-year quarterback, Michael Penix Jr. I thought he started more games.
No, he only started 2 or 3.
3. I saw it on ESPN yesterday. 3 games as a starter. It felt like they made the move earlier in the season with Kirk Cousins, but turns out he only had 3 starts. Anyway, here's Michael Penix on judging himself.
I understand, that I'm not always going to be perfect, but like you said, I'm always going to strive to be that. And whenever I'm not, I can be hard on myself. But I know whenever that next play comes around, I got to be, focused and locked in onto that play. And I feel like, I've been doing it for so long. I feel comfortable knowing that, okay, I can get hard on myself and be very, very, annoyed at a play or a throw that I know I could have made. And my coach, DJ, is always like, hey, man, next play. And I'm like, I know, but just give me a second to, talk bad about myself about that rep. But I know whenever that next play comes up, I will be ready for it.
He wants to beat himself up for a little bit. What did the Falcons do last week? A little pet peeve of mine. Yahoo, they list teams by their nickname instead of Atlanta. It's Falcons.
Oh well, that's how
makes it hard to find.
Well, that's how I refer to all of them. By that, I don't refer to city.
Penix did not play last week. Easton Stick, 15 of 18 for the Falcons last week.
Played for North Dakota State in college because they showed recently they were showing North Dakota. ESPN had been doing that 50 cities in 50 days. And they went through North Dakota State, the list of quarterbacks that they've had. Carson Wentz, Easton Stick, Trey Lance. They've had some that were really impressive.
Emory Jones was his backup from Cincinnati. Came in for the second game. All right, let's go to your Steelers. Cam Hayward. Little contract dispute going on?
Cam wants some more money. He was an All-Pro last year.
It's hard for me to, after the year I've had, to really justify playing at the number I'm playing at. I understand I signed a contract last year. But to be completely honest with you, when I signed that, I told him, when I have an All-Pro year, expecting me to come back. And you can look at the contract and see what it was, but I think everybody kind of giggled a little bit, but in my heads, I used it as motivation to go out there and prove it.
So, he had a certain number that was set last year, but that was based off the previous year where he had a bit of a down year. They're looking at the down year, him getting older. He is one of the older players, been in the league 15 years. But he said when they're going through the negotiations, he told them, let's revisit this whenever I become an All-Pro. And he said that they kind of took it jokingly, I guess, and he was serious. He became an All-Pro, so now he wants to revisit.
I think that's just fair. If they're going to dock you because you had a bad year, then when you have a great year, come back and reward him. Speaking of contracts, there's a great clip on social media now. It's Emmitt Smith talking to the media, and they were asking him about the similar situations with him and Micah Parsons. You know, because everybody always talks about the holdouts with the Cowboys and Jerry Jones over the years, and they point out that Emmitt Smith, held out, missed a couple of games. And Emmitt's like, I want to set something straight. There's a big difference between me and Micah Parsons. Micah's got a year left on his contract for $25 million. He's holding out because he wants another deal. I did not have a contract. I did not. He's like, if you don't have a contract at work, they take your key fob away. You can't even get in the building, right? You're not under contract. You no longer work for them. I did not have a contract. My contract ran out. We had a 30-day period to renegotiate my contract before other teams could come in, and I was a free agent. But I wasn't holding out. I didn't have a contract. So there's a big difference there.
Yeah, that is a huge difference. It's changed as far as the way things are done now because players don't want to play out the final year of a contract like Emmitt did. But also it makes you think, why didn't he ever have conversations with other teams to maybe get that going in the right direction sooner?
They signed him before that 30-day period came in. That's what he said in the interview.
Well, I mean, he must be talking about a different time because there was the year that it went into the season.
Right. He missed 2 games. He said there was a 30-day window that the Cowboys had exclusive rights to negotiate.
How is
After that, maybe it was something written into the prior contract.
Yeah, how is that going into a season?
And then before that 30-day came up and he was technically a free agent, he signed with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And reported and played.
That's unique and odd at the same time that you're not a free agent until the season actually starts.
Maybe it's a good clause to stick in there. That gives you a little extra time.
Then
camp's already done. You haven't learned their playbook. You got to go in and learn the offense.
That was something that was overlooked at the time.
Probably.
That's what that was.
But I thought he made a good point. Let's go to, who's this? Kendrick Bourne? What's he doing?
Yeah, he's a Patriots receiver, and just kind of a funny back and forth with media there because they were commenting on his outfit and his style, and so you hear the back and forth here.
So my wife is actually my stylist. Shout out to my wife. She's going to love this. She puts it all together for me. So she's doing good. I don't know what she got ready for me, but we'll see.
So every outfit, she's the one who's...
Yeah, she's behind it all. She's behind it all.
Can you give her... Can I get a number in the respectful way for the strictly wardrobe part of life?
Hold on. Hold on. What is he asking?
He wants her business card.
Oh, business card. Her Instagram's Vanessa Bourne. Go check her out. She'll love. Yeah, I didn't know what Dan was saying, but no, she'll love that though. She'll love that. She does a good job though. She makes me look like a professional.
Yeah, I thought he caught himself. Can I get her number?
Yeah.
For business reasons. Not hitting on your wife or anything. All right, let's move to Ben Johnson. And he's trusting his rookies.
Trust is that's a strong word. I don't know if I can say that yet for those 3 guys. I think we're trending the right direction. I'll be curious to see what the tape says because that'll go a long way in building that trust. But I thought they all came out, and I love the look in their eye there in pregame. I thought Kyle ran super hard when the ball was in his hands. I thought Luther made a couple plays that came his way. And then Colson, we probably only had in there for a couple series to get his feet wet, and he's been getting a little bit more reps in practice, and so we wanted to just be smart with him here for week 1 of preseason. But I'm happy with all 3 of those guys and where they're headed, but that trust will take a little time.
Luther Burden,
yeah, from Missouri.
I think it was our guy Brian Edwards that tweeted out over the weekend. He was putting a small play on Luther Burden to be the NFL Rookie of the Year after watching some of his preseason game.
It's tough for receivers, but it happens, though. Garrett Wilson a couple of years ago. Another NFL note here, Packers quarterback Jordan Love is having a procedure on his left thumb. So it's not on his throwing hand, but he did make contact with someone's helmet, and he's going to have a procedure for it.
Yeah, and I talked about Joe Milton yesterday having to leave the game with his elbow. I guess he's fine. They talked about him yesterday and just need to see more out of him before they're ready to say he is the backup quarterback. Like any young quarterback, Schottenheimer pointed out, he did some good things, and he did some things not so well. And I think he's going to get some more opportunities. Let's move to college football now. This is Peter Burns and Chris Doring, SEC guys, SEC Network guys, talking about Brian Kelly and all the hot seat talk for Brian Kelly.
I keep seeing these things that come out talking about who's on the hot seat for 2025. And the one I keep hearing about is Brian Kelly on the hot seat for 2025? There is no way in hell that Brian Kelly is on the hot seat in 2025. Unless LSU loses by 40 at Clemson and they go 5-7, and he's literally giving the middle finger to the fans in Tiger Stadium in the last couple of home games of the season, is Brian Kelly getting fired at LSU. They don't have the money to do it. That's not going to happen. And most importantly, LSU has a damn good team, a college football playoff team. And so the idea of Brian Kelly being on any type of hot seat is absolutely asinine and has zero chance of actually being a topic this season.
Well, people don't understand. There's a couple things, like all the financial things that you just talked about are certainly a factor. And then you think about, like, who else is out there that you're going to go get that's attainable, that's better than the guy that you have right now?
I would say every SEC coach is one season away from being on the hot seat, including Brian Kelly. Maybe not Kirby Smart at Georgia. But Brian Kelly, if he doesn't have a good year, he just said this is a national championship contending team. They think that in Louisiana. This is a team that should make the playoffs. They've got their quarterback coming back. It's all stacked up to have a very successful year. If it falls apart and they blow it to Clemson and then they have a subpar SEC season and they go 6-6, 7-5, I totally disagree with Peter Burns, even though he's an LSU guy. LSU does have money, and if those guys are unhappy with Brian Kelly and the way this season plays out, yes, he could be gone. Now, is he on the hot seat right now? No, he's not on the hot seat. But could that seat get hot during the year? Of course it could. Just like every single coach in the SEC, because of the expectations of a fan base, and especially for a team that's got very high expectations, and they fall flat on their face.
It does have to fall apart, though.
Yes.
If 8 wins, I know that's really unacceptable for them, but that's not necessarily falling apart.
No. If it was a bad season and they go 6-6, with all the talent that they have, there will be donors that step up, that have that kind of money, that will buy him out.
But those guys had a point also about getting someone who's better. Who's a better coach, who's a bigger name that they can bring in. Of course, those things fall into place if something happens. But right now, you look at it like there may not be anybody better in this moment that you can think of.
I would call the Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator Joe Brady, who was their offensive coordinator when they won the national championship, and also coached at the Saints. He has a lot of ties down there. All right, not saying it's happening, but I'm just disagreeing to disagree. It's possible. The way Peter Burns said, it's not even possible. No.
It's possible for sure.
Do I think it's going to happen? No, I don't think. I think LSU's got a good team, and I think they're going to be just fine. Let's see here. Oh yeah, over the weekend, a lot of buzz going on because of John Gruden and what he had to say in front of, was it the Florida Gators it was? He was standing in front of talking about wanting to come back into college. He had died to be back in as a college coach, and especially in the SEC. And then you had Jimbo Fisher wanting to come back. Here is Dusty Dvorak. Did I say that right? Dvorak and Danny Cannell.
If you had to pick one, who would you say, Jimbo or Gruden gets back? I would say Jimbo. I do think the Gruden, so he comes with a little bit of baggage. It was not pretty what happened with the emails and stuff that was found out about him, but they can get, like, anybody can get past that. But he also hasn't been in college. Now Belichick hasn't either.
I was going to say, does that matter anymore?
If Belichick does well, I think that helps Gruden. If he doesn't, I think it hurts him.
I mean, John Gruden walks in with a Super Bowl championship ring.
Yeah.
I would say Jimbo is the more likely, but if he starts really putting it out there and he starts going after some of these jobs,
you can't put it out there more than he just did.
I don't think it'll go unnoticed, and I think he'll get looks for sure.
That's a great question. Who would you rather have coaching your college team, Jimbo or Gruden?
Ooh.
College team.
Yeah. Well, if John Gruden is saying that that's something he desires, probably John Gruden.
Over Jimbo?
Yeah, and you know that the name that he carries, he's going to be able to get players in, and especially the way he's connected with some of these college players here in recent years.
Gruden's an NFL guy. Can he do it at the college level, dealing with the transfer portal, dealing with the NIL, the landscape of today's college football? Could he walk in and do that? And look, I love watching Gruden on TV, and I love listening to him and his accent and his speech patterns. Man, I love that guy, but he hadn't done it at the college level. And you point out the Super Bowl, they did. He won a Super Bowl with Tony Dungy's players. He stepped in and took his players and won a Super Bowl. What has he done even at the NFL level besides that? Now, I'm not saying I like Jimbo either. I don't like Jimbo. He fell flat on his face at Texas A&M with all that money. He had all kinds of NIL support and still couldn't get it done, and they had to run him out of town and pay him a ton of money. So I really don't want Jimbo. But if I got to pick, it's kind of almost, to me, the lesser of two evils. I would take Gruden, just maybe because of what you said, Joe, just the marketing PR part of it, of having a media darling.
And if it's a former NFL coach that doesn't have any college ties, that's something you don't worry about the way it's set up now. Because if this is something that this coach says he's passionate about and this is something he's willing to do, coaching is coaching. And these are guys that have coached at the highest level. You would trust as a program that this guy could come in and do a great job for you.
I guess my answer would come from my biggest donors. Who would you be more willing to support financially so that we will have a lot of money to go out and get the best players?
Well, the name that is going to carry weight would be John Gruden. They're going to be on board with that.
Take a couple calls real quick. David is in Searcy. What's up, David?
Hey, guys. Wes, I called in a couple of weeks ago telling you I thought the running back situation was a little weak.
Yeah. I remember the conversation with the breakaway speed, the guy that could take it 70. We weren't sure if we had one of those, and since that conversation, we found out Mike Washington is that guy.
We found out, buddy. Coach Pittman is excited about Mr. Washington, so in that case, so am I. I'm very excited about it. But let me tell you, I got to make this one admission before I hang up. When I got up Sunday and read the paper about the big scrimmage we had, I saw where the second-team offense came in and quickly threw a couple of touchdown passes against the number one defense, and I fell right back into the same old habit. Oh, no, not again. So tell me not to be upset over that. Thanks a lot.
You bet, David. I think from what I read, there was just one play and the against the first-team defense, and the first-team defense just blew it on that one big play, and then they shut them down the rest of the scrimmage. That's what I have gathered. I could be totally wrong. I'm willing to give them one screw-up. It happens. Other teams are going to score. You're not going to shut everybody out. But if the first-team defense did respond to that one touchdown and had a good scrimmage the rest of the way, and as Coach Pittman pointed out, the first-team defense did a really good job in the 2-minute drill, keeping the offense from scoring. It's one scrimmage. It's the first scrimmage. Don't get too worked up. Not positively or negatively. Brent is in Searcy. Hey, Brent.
Hey, Wes. Long time no talk to you guys.
Yeah, how are you doing?
So, Brent?
I'm great. How about you? Ready for the football? Ready for the high school football season? I'm outstanding. I don't know if you've seen it, but the coaches in the Mouth have started downloading their Hooten's football previews.
I have not. I need to check it out.
You do need to check that out. Back to y'all's question that you asked. Would you rather have John Gruden or what's his name, Jumbo Fisher?
Jimbo.
Jimbo, Dumbo. I mean, he ran 2 programs in the ground. He ran Florida State in the ground, won a national championship, but after that he stopped doing what head coaches do. He stopped working. And then, I mean, he did not – I didn't mean head coaches stopped working. I meant he stopped working. And, John Gruden is hungry. He hadn't coached in a very, very long time. And I just think if you were a college looking for a coach, the fan base would become electric, ecstatic, and all the positive they could possibly have if you were able to land that. If you were able to land John Gruden. And that's all I have to say about that. Jimbo's got enough money; he doesn't ever have to work again because he fooled Texas A&M, and he had all the necessities that you needed to have to win. And he did not do a very good. He's not a very good NIL manager.
Yeah. All right, good call, Brent. Thanks,
man. That's all I have to say on that.
Yeah, I think both of them. I think you can have a little asterisk. Jimbo won a national championship, but he had Jameis Winston. John Gruden won a Super Bowl, but he had Tony Dungy's players. Can they do it without that special circumstance? Without a doubt. I think Joe and I both agreed on that. You talk about getting people excited. Gruden would be the guy for any fan base. And look, I'm not talking Arkansas. I'm just talking your college team, whoever it may be. And I think it would be different for everybody. He says Gruden is hungry because he hadn't coached a while, but apparently Jimbo's hungry. I mean, he's got all that money, right? He got paid. That dude doesn't ever have to work again.
But he wants to.
Exactly. So that tells you, or tells me, he's hungry. He's ready to get back in there after a failure at Texas A&M. Maybe he wants to fix that so he doesn't go out that way. All right, we got one more thing for you on what's trending. Joe told us yesterday about UFC going to Paramount Plus. Here's Dana White.
What can you tell us about how much the UFC will be on CBS, linear TV, with the country watching?
Yeah, it's looking like we're going to do 4 big events a year. And, we're talking about doing a fight at the White House next year on the 4th of July, the 250th anniversary of America. So imagine a massive fight on the lawn of the White House on CBS.
Yeah, that'd be big. So that's something you look forward to next year from UFC, Paramount Plus. And then they'll have some events on CBS.
How far we've come. Can you imagine our forefathers from 200 years ago thinking a UFC fight on the lawn of the White House?
This may not be that far-fetched for them if they were.
Maybe they were boxing matches back in the day.
Yeah. MLB news. So World Series dates have been set. And it's going to start on October 24th.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, and last year and in years past, they've had flex dates built in where they could start sooner. They're doing away with the flex dates. So it is going to start on October 24th. So if some of these championship series, if they're sweeps, these teams will get time off. Starts on October 21st. If there's a Game 7, that would be on November 1st. And that's not out of the norm, though, because there have been several years that
we've had November games.
World Series games have gone into November. The latest was 3 years ago, 2022. It went to November 5th.
Wow. Tells me we're going to have a couple Game 7s in the ALCS and NLCS.
Maybe not, but they have the date set. Just like NBA. NBA sets a final start date every year. It doesn't matter what happens before that. They they set the date, and they just go from there. So if teams have time off, they have time off. If they don't, then they just have to roll with it.
Helps with the programming so they can figure out other things that they're going to be showing on Fox. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have an open segment. We take some more calls. Unless I get a text from a guest I was trying to line up. We'll be wide open the rest of this half hour. No text. So we're open right now. Give us a call, 661-1037. You can also text us, D3 Auto Sales text line, 661-1037. It's Out of Bounds.
I'm Trey Reed from the Wild Side on 103.7 The Buzz. Join me and Mark Hedrick Tuesday nights at 7 for the Wild Side.
Brought to you by West Rock Landing at Lake Maumelle, Trader Bill's Outdoors, Battery Outfitters, All About Tire and Brake, Tammy Chase Insurance, Edwards Food Giant, and Crane Chevrolet.
This is Sports Center.
There's roughly 1 month left in the Texas League regular season, and the Arkansas Travelers have some work to do if they want to claim a playoff spot. The Travs are 2 games behind the Tulsa Drillers for that playoff spot as they start a series tonight against the Northwest Arkansas Naturals in Springdale. Arkansas will throw left-hander Reed Van Scoter, who's 4-3 with a 4.73 ERA. Northwest Arkansas counters with left-hander Hunter Owen, who's also 4-3 but has a 3.79 ERA. First pitch from Arvest Ballpark is scheduled for 7:05. That means Stephen Davis will have the Visit Hot Springs pregame show at 6:50 on our sister station 106.7 Buzz 2. I'm Todd Pierce for the Buzz Radio Network.
Hey, this is Mitch at Red River Ram Dodge Chrysler Jeep. You know, I saw an ad the other day, and I thought, no wonder people don't trust car dealers. I looked up the discount they were offering that was $20,000 off, only to find out they put a $12,000 to $15,000 lift kit on this truck, marked it up $38,000, and then said they're taking $20,000 off. Make that make sense in somebody's head. Folks, come check us out. RedRiverRam.com. See why we're Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer, or make that beautiful drive right here to Heber Springs.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I gotta fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're going to be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LIFE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LIFE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LIFE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code LIFE.
Make your yard the envy of the neighborhood with Cabot Outdoors. Right now, when you purchase a Hustler Fast Track Series mower, receive your choice of a free pressure washer or generator, an unbeatable bonus of up to $7.99. For the month of August, to get an extra $500 off. Supplies are limited. Offer ends August 31st. The Hustler Fast Track delivers precision, comfort, and durability for homeowners who demand more. Cabot Outdoors, 901 South Pine Street in Cabot. Find them on Facebook. Looking for your next Arkansas getaway? Experience El Dorado, the natural state's rising star in entertainment. Catch a live concert at the Murphy Arts District. Tee off at Mystic Creek, one of the South's top-rated golf courses. Unwind at the Haywood, part of Hilton's exclusive Tapestry collection. Enjoy a stroll through the vibrant, revitalized downtown filled with unique shops, delicious dining, and live entertainment. El Dorado, closer than you think, better than you imagined. Visit GoElDorado.com. That's GoElDorado.com.
Heartland Rehabilitation and Care Center in Benton proudly offers compassionate and loving care to our veterans, meeting the unique needs of every veteran who calls Heartland home. Visit heartlandrehabcenter.com.
Ray Tucker with good news for enthusiasts of Triumph motorcycles. Honda of North Little Rock now carries the legendary classics and cutting-edge rides. We have the Bonneville Bobber, Daytona 600, the TF450X, the Stunning Ever Special Edition, and the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. You get the idea. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio.
I was just checking my email. Got an email from Gwatney Chevrolet. Drive a new Chevy Trax or a Trailblazer as low as $299 a month. How about that? Brand new vehicle. Payments $299 a month. Big style, compact price, $299 a month at Gwatney Chevrolet. If you're ready to upgrade your drive without a hefty price tag, now's your chance. Chevrolet Trax or the Trailblazer, $299 a month. These popular SUVs are built for modern life. Sleek design, smart technology, and advanced safety features like forward collision alert. They got the Apple CarPlay, spacious interiors, fuel efficiency, bold look, Trax and Trailblazers. Great deals right now. Also saw on the website, GwatneyChevrolet.com, 0% financing and $3,000 cash back on the Silverados. So they got all kinds of deals happening right now at Gwatney Chevrolet. You know they're going to pay top dollar for your trade-in. They continue to do that. They're looking for quality cars, trucks, SUVs. You'll be happy with the offer. Good deal when you trade in, a good deal when you buy. You'll be happy when you leave Gwatney Chevrolet, driving away in a new ride with good payments. Check it out. The website is Gwatney Chevrolet. It's the James Street exit in Jacksonville. Wes Moore and Joe Franklin with you. Check out. See if we got anything over on our Gwatney Chevrolet live fan feedback. That one's old. That one's old. Nope, nothing good over there. Text line. Jimbo Fisher has 76 million reasons not to ever coach college football again. I agree. I mean, if I got paid $76 million, if I hit the lottery, I'm sorry, I'm not working again. I am going on playing golf. I'm hitting the beach. I'm traveling. I'm seeing my kids. I'm doing everything I wish I ever could when I was sitting at work. So if Jimbo, though, wants to come back, that tells me he's a motivated coach. He doesn't want to just sit and have fun with his $76 million. He wants to come back and win a championship. So maybe you have a motivated coach then. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. Stephen from Malvern. I have been a lifelong Razorback fan and supporter. If Jimbo Fisher were to be hired at Arkansas, I would have to find a new team. Stephen, I do not think you're in the minority. I think the majority. If we ran a poll question, and I'm not, but if we were, would you rather have Jimbo Fisher or John Gruden? I think John Gruden would have close to 90% of the vote. And it may be more than 90. It may be like 96. 501 says, give me Gruden all day, any day over Jimbo. Alex writes in, so you don't think Taylor Green can take us to the playoffs? I didn't say that, Alex. Alex says, remember, I told you so. I think Taylor Green is a very special quarterback, and I'm hoping to see him be even better this year, especially taking care of the ball. 14 turnovers, too many. Value the ball, whether it's interceptions or fumbles. Get him some more protection. Better running game. More receivers to choose from instead of just focusing in on Andrew Armstrong.
A lot of that has to do with him, though.
And a lot has to do with him. Yeah. And then,
because
can't forget,
because there were receivers there last year outside of Andrew Armstrong.
No.
Andrew Armstrong he made it a point to always get open, but there were other receivers that were getting open.
And that were getting bypassed because he was looking for Andrew Armstrong only. And your defense has to be good too. You don't want to have to outscore everybody every single game. You need because you're going to run it. Look, Tennessee has a very good defense. Tennessee's issue is they're replacing everything on offense. Quarterback, running back, wide receivers, offensive line. But their defense is going to be good. That Tennessee defense may hold Arkansas to 14 points, 13 points, a couple field goals and a touchdown. Can the defense do what they did last year and keep them in the ball game against Tennessee? 501 says, tell that guy, have you ever heard of Les Miles or Ed Orgeron? Yeah, Peter Burns. Yeah, that's a great point. Both of them won national championships and they ran him out of town. Well, why? Yeah, they could run him out of town, no problem. And that was Orgeron at the Touchdown Club. Told the story.
Oh, he was happy about it. You pay him his money. And
show me the door.
He's out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Peter missed on that one. I think, all right, now let's get to the new ones. 501 says Gruden may have a big recruiting advantage with his NFL connection, much like Calipari in the NBA. Yeah. Wes, give us your honest, unfiltered expectations and ceiling of this Razorback team. Thanks. My expectation is 6-6. My expectation, they need to win 6 games. With Taylor Green and with what they have, I like the offensive line. I think it's better. I'm excited about Mike Washington. We'll see. Oh, so much of it is we'll see because we're going to have to see on the wide receivers. We're going to have to see on the defensive backs. I like the linebackers, but give me Taylor Green. I think Taylor Green is an underrated quarterback in the SEC. I think he's going to have a good year. So my expectation is 6-6. Ceiling on this team, things go well, ball bounces right, take care of some issues here and there. I think the ceiling is 9 wins. I mean, let's face it. Look, you're already playing Texas on the road, LSU on the road. You got Notre Dame at home. That's 3 teams in the top 10 in the polls. And I mean,
so those aren't winnable games. It may be at this point, but
very difficult.
The rest of the games are winnable.
And maybe you get one of those and you lose one that you think I'm just not. I think 9 is ceiling. But my expectation, I'm thinking 6 or 7. But give me a couple more weeks. I'll give you an official pick. G. Marsh says, I think John Gruden would attract a lot of recruits because of his connections to the NFL. I think you're positive.
Well, he's made these connections with college quarterbacks, especially here over the last few years. So not only his NFL and the background there, but what he's done with college here and then the connections he's made with the schools where the schools are sending gear to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's pretty cool stuff. That's when, Arkansas sent him a bunch of gear. And soon after he posted that video is when it was pointed out by some Razorback fans to me, John Gruden's account that posted that. Now, I don't know. Does John Gruden run his John Gruden Twitter Barstool account, or is it somebody from Barstool? I don't know. But soon after that, he started following members of the Arkansas media. He started following Hunter Yurachek. There were like 12 people with Arkansas ties he started following. And so people started talking. It was like, ooh, Gruden, what's all this all of a sudden? And it's not like he follows thousands and thousands and thousands of people. It's kind of exclusive who he picks to follow. So people were starting to talk. What's going on with Gruden?
He does that when other schools send him some gifts too, though.
Ooh. He just got done. You want to call him real quick? I'll take the break, and we'll do it. Tay Lockett, future Razorback, moving from California to Conway, is going to join us when we come back. We'll find out about the move, why he is coming to Conway, and what he thinks about coming to Arkansas. Pretty cool. Tay Lockett next. We'll finish up with him. It's Out of Bounds.
With Oaklawn Sports, the action never stops and the season is never over. It's now easier than ever to wager on your favorite sports all year long. Go from football to basketball to baseball to golf. Bet on what you want, when you want, with the brand you trust. Oaklawn Sports even offers ways to bet on cricket, rugby, table tennis, and more. If it's a sport, chances are you can wager on it. Plus, it's now simpler to deposit and withdraw money from your account. Bet all year long with Oaklawn Sports, Arkansas's best sports betting app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
The games are on, the food's delicious, and here you are always part of the team. Welcome to Walk On Sports Bistro, where every day is game day. Whether it's a post-win celebration, drinks after work, or taking the fam for some made-from-scratch favorites. Walk-Ons is your go-to for good times, craft beer, and cocktails, and bold flavors for fans of all ages, from melty mozzarella logs to Hall of Fame level burgers. Stop by today or order online in the app. Walk On Sports Bistro. Game on.
What drives you? Family moments, new adventures, or just the love of the open road? Whatever it is, Gwatney Chevrolet is here to help you get there. For generations, we've been more than a dealership. We've been part of life's milestones, big and small. With a team that puts you first and a car buying experience that's easy and stress-free, we're here to find the perfect vehicle for what drives you. Visit us in Jacksonville or online at GwatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Morning Mayhem wants to know, is it fact or is it crap? Listen each week for your chance to play, presented by Arkansas Municipal Equipment and 270 Grill in Poen. Arkansas Municipal Equipment, check them out at amctrucks.com.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems, like snoring, aches and pains, hot sleep, or even an old saggy mattress that can keep you up at night. And our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. You now get a king bed for a queen price, plus a free adjustable base with select mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Stop and shop at our Conway and Little Rock showrooms. That's Hawks Homes. Has been serving Central Arkansas since 1986. Now, why buy from Hawks? We're the only manufactured and modular dealer that can build your custom home from your plans. You dream it, we can build it. Hunting clubs, churches, classrooms, restaurants, daycare centers, modular office buildings, school dorms. Check them out online at hawkshomes.net.
Floyd Seafood on Keel Avenue in Sherwood is having a massive summer store-wide sale. Save up to 30% off everything in the store. Limited quantities, bring your ice chests. FloydsMeatandSeafood.com. 30% off store-wide at Floyd Seafood.
Hey, it's Randy Rainwater from Drive Time Sports. Great show for you on Tuesday. Neil Atkinson from Bed Saracen. Hogsports.com's Trey Biddy, thanks to Chris Crane Hyundai, and Genesis of Conway, and Kevin Hoop Scoop McPherson from Hogville.net. See you Tuesday on 103.7 The Buzz.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Gwatney Chevrolet. Driving, trust every mile.
All right, let's get right to it. Take right advantage of the time we have. Tay Lockett, future Razorback, now Conway Wampascat, or soon to be Conway Wampascat, joins us on Out of Bounds. What's up, Tay? How are you?
What's going on? I'm doing good. How you doing?
Man, fantastic. All right, tell everybody the move. Go California to Conway. Why are you coming to Arkansas, and why Conway?
I just believe in Coach Buck James. Obviously, you know, he's a big-time state championship guy at Bryant, and so I'm looking to help build that over at Conway.
So it sounds like you did a little homework finding out about Buck James and the Bryant Hornets.
Of course.
All right. How about are you here yet? Have you made it to Arkansas?
Yes, sir. I actually am. I had my first practice last night. got practice today. So I'm just excited to be here though.
How'd practice go?
It's definitely a lot different than California. This is ran like a college, and it's exactly what I need to be a part of.
Now, I tell you already had a connection here to Arkansas. For people that don't know the story, what's your connection here in Arkansas and why you decided to come to Arkansas to go to college, but now you're here for high school in Conway?
My mother was actually born and raised here. Graduated from Bologna High School. I got a lot of family who lives in the Conway area, the Little Rock area, and it's just a great opportunity for me to just get out to Arkansas before I got to get out there in January for college ball. So it's exciting.
How hard was it for you to leave California and your teammates, friends, to come to Arkansas?
At the end of the day, I know in this life I got to do what's best for me, and I feel like this is honestly like a position if any of my other teammates had in California, they would do the same thing. And I talked to all of my teammates in California, and they had the utmost respect for me, you know what I mean? Because I'm just a very humble guy. You know, I want nothing but the best for my teammates out in California. But to be honest, the move to Arkansas, like, it was just exciting because I already planned on coming to college out here. So for me to just get out here a little bit earlier, like, I feel like it's just everything I wanted.
And you already had a plan in place. You mentioned getting on campus in January, so you were going to graduate high school at the semester, and then you were going to be in Fayetteville anyway. So it is good to get here just a little bit earlier.
Yes, sir.
I know you're going to help in the defensive backfield, but you were a two-way player in high school. Can you do that at Conway too?
Coach James is not opposed to it. He definitely will. He told me as fast as I can learn it is as fast as I can get out there. So he told me he's fine with me playing a little bit of receiver. You know what I mean, as long as I pick up the defensive side of the ball first. So we gonna see.
Well, what all different positions have you played throughout your high school career?
I done played anywhere in the secondary and receiver.
What do you think your position is in college?
I think I am a true defensive back. I can play anything that has to do with defensive back.
Safety or corner?
Or in the nickel.
What's your favorite?
I know the longevity is at corner. You're taking the least amount of hits. You know what I mean? You're dishing out the least amount of hits. You just guarding their best receiver, and I feel like I can guard anybody in the country. So I love corner. But I think if I want to play this game for a super long time and get paid the most amount of money, because at the end of the day, I feel like that's everybody's goal. If you play football, you want to go to the NFL, make the most amount of money for your family. I feel like that's at safety. There's not too many people in the country better than me at going to get the ball. So I think safety.
Have you ever done anything in the return game?
Punt return. I don't really enjoy kickoff return, but punt return is pretty cool. So, just make the man miss and it's showtime.
We got Tay Lockett with us on Out of Bounds. He's leaving California, transferring to Conway to play for Buck James and the Wampus Cats, and he's going to play for the Razorbacks. You were the first, I think that's when we talked to you last, you were the first commitment for 2026. And I know when other schools started coming at you and offering you and trying to get you to visit, Razorback fans got a little nervous, Tay. I'll be honest with you. They were nervous that maybe you'd change your mind. I got to think this should make everybody feel pretty good. You're coming to high school in Arkansas for your senior year and going to Fayetteville in December or January.
Yes, sir. I mean, like I said, I'm just excited to get out here. Obviously, Conway is a great city. Arkansas is a great state. I'm just looking forward to meeting a lot of new people, you know what I mean, that I wouldn't have been able to probably meet if I was in Northwest Arkansas. But I'm down here in Central Arkansas with Conway and Coach Buck James, so I'm just excited.
Have you spent some time here over the years coming back to visit family?
Yes, sir. I come back like every so often. Like I said, I got grandparents and cousins and aunties and uncles out here, so I come back like every so often. But when I come out here, I like to go to the University of Arkansas. That's home right there.
How excited is your family in Arkansas that they get to see you play your senior year?
They super excited. I don't think there hasn't been a day going by where they're not calling me just to, oh my God, we're so excited. Like, oh, there's practice and we get to see you play every game now. So, they're truly excited. And at the end of the day, I know, like, to me, this, like, it's just football. So, I'm not going to overdo any of it. But I'm very excited to have my family, just come and see me play football.
Tay, thank you for the time. Welcome to Arkansas, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Yes, sir. I really appreciate you.
It's Tay Lockett joining us on Out of Bounds. Good way to wrap up the show right there.
Absolutely.
That'll do it for today. Stick around. Drive Time Sports is coming up next.
Looking for adventure on 2 wheels or 4? Honda of Russellville has the largest Honda selection